Yo, 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 yo. We're late.
An espresso martini.
It's amazing. Like you move a few things from your studio and then you try to put it back together and it's all broken. Andy's having issues on his end.
I had issues at home.
We're having issues. No more live shows. I'm calling it right now. It's too much. It's too much. It's taking me 12 and a half minutes to figure it out. I don't want to ever deal with this again.
It's over.
That's not true. We're going to be in Boston. I just got our Airbnb figured out.
Oh, sweet.
Yay.
Yeah. So that's going to be fun. Looking forward to that. June 21st. WATPlive.com is where you want to go for tickets. And I think we're going to get this live show thing figured out one of these days. They keep getting better and better. Vegas was so much fun. For the people who came and hung out with us, I know everyone there had a good time. I had zero complaints about that. And I don't know a lot about the stream because I wasn't in charge of it. But from everything that Patrick and Moody told me,
Yeah.
they said that things went very smoothly.
I think Adam was watching from his room a little bit.
Okay.
And listening. So, yeah, I got good feedback.
He didn't want to just come down into the room and watch the
No,
live
that's
show.
not his style.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Hang out with us nerds? No.
Yeah.
No, he played it smart.
Being bothered for autographs and stuff like that the whole time. So I could see why that would be the case. I am going to share some video in a little bit, but first I just wanted to go around and ask everybody what their experience was, what stuck out to you, what happened this year at Hackamania, Back to the Hack, producer Chris.
Oh, well, I wasn't there last year, so
Right.
it was, well, it was amazing. It was a whirlwind. I was there 6 days.
Yeah, you were there the
Yeah.
longest of all of us.
Yeah.
That's a lot of
I haven't
Vegas.
slept yet. It's nuts. But it was great. I'm so glad Dr. Steve can make it. That was, for me, probably the highlight is seeing him and his last Weird Medicine with Lucy Tightbox. I could have watched that for 3 more hours. It was,
Yes.
I mean, maybe with a little less defecation.
I know, a lot of defecation, but I thought that was nothing short of epic as
Yeah,
far as the episode.
yeah.
Steve had prepared so much for it.
Yeah.
And the please clap Zumach things.
So good.
It was so fucking
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. Meeting Adam Bush was great. What a good egg.
Yep, he was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
He hung out and went to all the places and, spent a lot of time with everyone, especially my brother.
Sorry, Adam.
Yeah, either Adam and my brother are best friends or Adam's going to get a restraining order because that was the amount of time they spent together during this trip. We'll have to. Well, I'll ask Adam privately. I'm not going to put him on the spot.
No, I'll put him on the spot.
Yeah. He said he's going to be stopping by today.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. So the link is out there. Dr. Steve's going to try to swing by and chat with us. And we're going to get a lot of other people who are at the show coming by to tell us about their experience. Jenny Jingles.
Well, it was nice to meet Adam in person.
Yep.
Of course. Great to see Dr. Steve. It was good to see Melton and Moody as well. And Sean was keeping things under control.
Sean is the MVP.
He really
Yeah.
was. He was busting his ass.
He was the behind-the-scenes guy. I had dinner with Sean and Dame Taft and some other folks when we had our High Rollers dinner when we first got in.
Yes.
And Sean was awesome because as soon as things at the bar area started getting a little noisy in the showroom, he went right over and let them know.
Yeah.
I told him I had the same experience in Detroit because we're playing at a venue that's a rock venue, this venue that we were at in Vegas. And so bartenders are used to like shouting at customers and yelling back and forth, and it doesn't matter. No one cares. It's a rock venue. When there's a live comedy show, it's very different. And so Magic Bag, the first year, was very noisy in the back.
Yep.
We've talked to them since then, and we've had 2 great shows
Yes.
since then.
Absolutely.
But I think things could have gotten out of control if not for Sean keeping people in check.
It was weird, though, because we had to talk about it after the fact. The acoustics in there were weird because he said, I would walk over to where people were talking. It wasn't that loud, but because of the way the room was, it was amplified.
Yes. And there was a curtain they could pull over that would kind of block that noise, but then you're also stopping dozens of people from seeing the show.
Yeah.
Which creates conversations.
That too, right? They don't realize that they're at a show then when that happens. So, yeah, they're playing with that a
Yeah.
little bit back and forth.
Yeah. But great venue. Mm-hmm. It was great being so close to everything,
Oh, yeah. I mean, everyone was just hanging out at
Yeah.
the plaza around Fremont Street for pretty much the whole time until Sunday when people kind of went their separate ways. But we met up with a bunch of people down on the strip and did our thing, and then we got back for bingo. Bingo sucks.
Yeah.
here's my big take. Well, I'll tell you what I wrote in my notes. Bingo sucks. Tukey rules. If Tukey wasn't there at bingo, that would have been so boring.
Yeah.
Because what happens is, and I don't know why this is something that is interesting for people, but you have like, you can play it manually, but they encourage you to play it electronically because you have like, I don't know, 6 dozen cards for any particular bingo game.
Yeah, you got to hustle.
There's no way to see what you have. There's a way to shuffle through all the cards, but there's no way to like see them all at the same time. But there's a little monitor that tells you how close you are on some of the cards, and you don't even know what to root for or what's going on. Mary Beth won, sitting next to me. That was cool. I was happy
You don't
for
know
her.
what to root for.
You don't. You're just sitting there going, oh, okay, cool. And then someone goes bingo, and you're all right. Until the next one. Like it's literally like playing the lottery.
Yeah, I was going to say, you're not a fan of scratch-offs. You got no control over it.
Right.
Yeah, it's like Keno.
Well, no, at least Keno, you know what you're rooting for. Keno, there's like, oh, if I get the 32, you know?
Yeah, you pick the numbers.
You pick the numbers and you know what you're rooting for. And this thing, you have no idea. I mean, you might know that I need like some B or some N column on these cards over here. Why? Why? Just because I picked those 2 letters? God damn it, producer Chris. Not everything. But yeah, I liked that was Melton's idea to like, get everybody together on the Sunday and do something. Because the poker tournament that they tried to do last year, that's not great for everybody who's hanging out. So we thought, oh, bingo, that'll work. But boy, they don't want you talking in there.
Nope.
it's all the signs in the elevator say this isn't your grandma's bingo. And you're like, all right, rock and roll bingo. Let's go. They're like, shh.
It's your great aunt's bingo.
Yes. And you just hear in the background, whoa. Very faintly. Actually,
Well, 2 people got kicked out of bingo.
who was that?
Adam Bush and Cardiff both got kicked
Oh,
out
gosh.
for chitter chatter.
Yeah, I somehow
With
missed
each
that.
other or somebody else?
I don't know.
Which is weird because I poked my head in. I'm like, oh, this looks like detention. And I went to the bar with Lucy.
Yeah.
And they got kicked out. So they got kicked out of detention. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Right. They're being too unruly for detention for some reason. Actually, I think I could share a photo, right? Yeah. Talk amongst yourself. Give me a second.
Oh, right.
actually
I
have
very
Tukey
happily
bingo.
skipped bingo. And producer Chris, you described it as a room full of fluorescent lights, which just sounds like complete hell.
Yeah.
That too.
It looked like the DMV or something.
You did get 2 free drinks, and I do the air quotes because you pay a lot of money to play bingo.
That's true. Yeah.
and then they give you 2 free drinks.
Definitely not
Something-
free.
Something that I enjoyed, so I absolutely loved the venue this year. I loved that everything was centrally located and that we could all be right near each other. But something that I will say that I really liked about Hackamania 1 was that the hotel that we were at last year, it had kind of like hangout areas where everybody would just kind of convene. And the plaza was organized a little bit differently where you didn't just kind of find everybody all in the same place. Everybody was at this bar or at this bar. So it was a little bit more spread out.
That is true. Looks like we have Dr. Steve joining us.
Yay!
Hello.
What's up, Dr. Steve?
Hey.
Congratulations on a very triumphant final episode
Oh,
of Weird
thank you.
Medicine.
Well, thank
That
you
was-
very much. And
That was one of
thanks-
the main highlights of the weekend for me.
Well, that's awesome. My lovely co-host was 90% of why it was successful. So thank you.
Cletus?
Well, Mister, this is the greatest video of all time, though. With you, me, and then there I am making out with Tukey. Of course, it was all the people I would make out with. And I told my wife I'm glad that they didn't do that. Well, I probably shouldn't say, but I'm glad they didn't do that with me and Lucy because my wife would never believe that it wasn't real. Anyway.
I would vouch for you that you'd have no shot at that. I would
Thank
let your
you.
wife know. But no, there's definitely
Yes,
no
yes,
way
yes.
that would happen.
I would counter that, absolutely.
All right. Fair enough.
Okay, well, I enjoyed bingo a lot because I felt like I was in 8th grade again being yelled at by the homeroom teacher. and Mary Beth and the other folks that were sitting with us were laughing so hard because we were trying not to laugh. It was one of those.
Right, yeah.
That was fun. That was one of my favorite things that we
I've
did.
never seen Tukey concentrate before.
Yeah, look at Tukey here filling out all the bingo cards.
No, those are just the forms to play bingo there.
And then, they had all these weird patterns, and Rocco was like, I didn't even know what the patterns were. I could have won. I would never know. So
because he was doing it manually, which is impossible.
It's completely impossible. Well, you have to do the little kite shape, and, there are all these weird shapes and stuff, and there's no way that he could have known what he was doing.
I mean, if he was smarter, he might have.
Who knows what a kite is shaped like?
Who could possibly know?
Bingo.
There's no way.
And Mary Beth won bingo, and she paid $88 for her and Brian to play, and she won all of $26.
I thought that's what it was.
Stupid.
Cool.
It's idiotic. I would have done it again though.
Well, Dr. Steve,
Yeah, you're a good egg.
you're a good egg, as we all know.
That was fun.
This is speaking of Cletus. I got a photo.
No, we don't have to talk about Cletus. It's okay.
Maybe we don't have to talk about Cletus. Look at how happy I am to meet this celebrity. I'm obviously very excited
I'm
about
surprised they didn't make the three of us make out in that stupid AI.
it. Have you seen all of the internet yet? Because I haven't. Who knows?
No.
Sunday night, we were saying goodbye at the Sand Dollar with everyone who stayed, And there's Cletus talking to the bartender. I was trying to gauge her reaction. She's a pro.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
She dealt with that, huh?
Yeah.
I
Cletus
think
was yelling, "You're a good one," to her as she walked away.
I think we have Trucker Andy. Let's see. He's been having some tech issues
Yeah, I
over
saw
there.
him.
Come on, buddy. I'm rooting
Yeah.
for you.
There
Does
he
that
is.
happen to you, Carl, when you
Yay!
stick your shit on the road and then come back and it doesn't work properly? Has that ever happened?
Oh, it just happened 17 minutes ago. Yes.
Okay.
Correct. Welcome to the show, Andy.
Hi.
So I wanted to say one of the highlights was Cardiff's costume. He was Chad Zumock.
Yes.
That was brilliant.
And the first time,
Terrifying.
yes, at the VIP meet and greet thing before the shows, I turned and just saw him and was, for a split second, I was like, holy shit, Chad's here. It really looked so legit. And what was great is that somehow he was able to FaceTime with Chad Zumock. I can't remember who the person was who connected him with Chad's number or whatever. But Cardiff, as Chad, was FaceTiming Chad at the venue. Just like, doesn't look anything like me.
Right.
It's not even a good costume.
You dorks.
You guys are dorks.
I knew exactly who it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Everyone did. Dude, that could open up Chad's phone, that mask.
Wait, wow,
amazing.
Chad looks taller and slimmer. He's looking good. Oh, that's not him. Oh, I knew it wasn't him.
The funniest thing was, and maybe I'll repeat this if Adam joins us. He said he was going to try to hop on today. The funniest was Cardiff is talking to Adam Bush, and then Adam turns to me and goes, "So is Cardiff here?" I went, "Oh, dude, you don't know? He didn't know
awesome.
who was playing Chad Zumock. He had no
Oh,
idea."
man.
So that was fun. It was a fun little highlight.
Yeah, like an initiation.
Yes.
If anybody doubts the brilliance of Cardiff, that was proof, and then Cardiff's song was the other highlight for
Oh
me.
my god.
Yes.
So damn sexy is my ringtone now.
I was crying. So
Yeah.
fucking funny.
That was an amazing segment.
So if you don't know, during the Tukey Soup episode, those two guys decided to do, so it was Tukey and Cardiff, they decided to find the cringiest things that they had done before their amazing rise to internet fame. And Tukey, Rocco, chose him doing stand-up like 10 years ago. Like it wasn't even that long ago. He was just doing stand-up as an adult, and it was terrible. But Cardiff found a song from when he was like 14 or 15 years old that he wrote and recorded, and he's playing guitar and singing on with a
Ooh.
Casio drum beat. And it is terrible.
It's the best.
It's so bad.
It's worse than Mando Birch doing Moon Age Daydream.
I couldn't tell you.
The answer is yes.
Okay. Wow.
It was so great. I loved it. I loved my favorite part of that was even when, like, I played it and they told me it sucked. Who'd you play it for? My sister. You played a jack-off song that you wrote for your sister. Too funny.
She wasn't into it.
My sister's so damn sexy.
She
Weird.
said it sucked. She said it sucked.
But that's why those two are brilliant. I mean, because they're putting themselves out there as straight men to set up jokes for everyone else. And Carl's like that too with the club foot. And I think Vinny put Wade back on for the weekend so that we could make the fat jokes all over again.
Is that why he did that?
Yeah, just for the comedy.
I appreciate that about him. He's taking one for the team,
Yep.
which is very sweet.
Quite the committed gentleman.
Of course, there were the people, the retractors, who want to say that the show didn't go well. We all know how well the weekend went.
Yeah, just come to one. And that was the other thing is, did John do his show about, I got him. It's like, all you got to do, you just come to the show.
Right. We were talking to Vegas Beer Sales
hang out with
Jerry.
him.
I spent so much time Thursday night talking to Vegas Beer Sales Jerry, who said he wasn't coming to the shows, and I saw him at every show. So he ended up hanging out. But that's Stuttering John's buddy. Like, they're legit friends. They talk on the phone all the time. And it was a blast getting to talk to him. He told me a lot of shit. I don't know what I'm allowed to talk about or not, but he told me a lot of shit about it.
I don't know the rules, but
I don't know the
I
rules
also talked to him
either.
at length.
Yeah. But this is an example of what I'm talking about. Here's Stevie Lou's got a retweet. This always happens, too. There's always someone who gets a photo before the show starts, maybe sound check or something. And so there's Nick Rekieta up on stage with no one at the venue yet. And it's just like, everyone's having the time of their life in Vegas this weekend. Like, okay, yeah.
No, you know what that was? That was karaoke.
No, that's karaoke?
That was karaoke. He did karaoke, and it was.
There were people at the karaoke shows.
They were mostly at the bar.
No, that's Jen is right. That's definitely a karaoke because almost everybody was standing up in the back at karaoke.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. The DJ set was.
And quite a few people went on the White Castle trek.
Yeah.
At that point as well.
Yeah, Tukey took all the fans away.
Yeah, he did.
And then the karaoke singers. By the way, there were some very talented singers, including, of course, Jenny Jingles, who crushed it at karaoke.
I was asked to join the karaoke championships.
Yes, the DJ was very impressed with
I will not be doing that.
your version of Jane.
But I was asked.
You're not flying back to Vegas for that?
No.
Of course, I tweeted out this photo because I don't do this very often, but I thought, I know there's going to be a lot of people say there was no one there and it was lame. So when I got up on the stage for This Little Piggy, I just took a photo. This is not the entire room. There's like lots more people over on the right.
Section over on the in front of the bar.
Yeah, there's a whole section over there, and there's a whole section on the
lots
on the
of
right
people
too,
were there.
Yeah, I tried to capture that. I did tweet this at Aaron Imholte, who tweeted the day before there were only 7 people there, so I thought I would clear the air on that. We'll get more into that in a moment, more of the Aaron Imholte stuff, because we all were wondering, like, how's he going to deal with this and spin this? And
he starts singing.
Cocktails, woo! Little pitchy dog.
So I didn't get there in time for This Little Piggy, but I listened to it all the way home, driving home from the airport last night. I had a 2-hour drive, and that was a pretty epic episode.
Well, the beauty of it is, so you have all these text messages.
Yeah.
Where it's April talking about him, Aaron.
With the AI voices.
With the AI voice.
That was perfect.
Which is great. So much better than in the past, just like reading text messages. It's like April saying that Aaron climbed on top of her to lick all of the cum off of her chest.
And as soon as she said that, Tukey yelling, no! Brilliant. Line of the weekend.
Definitely was great. Of course, this is a recap, and I want to respond to Aaron's comments about what went down, but it's also a grift, as we all know. Supertip.gg/WATP is where you can go and help us get our grift on. KFT is the first one in.
Jenny, pull your shirt down lower. We need to meet the goal. Lucy, arch your back more. I got a house in Cape Coral to pay for.
That is what I say. Those are my notes after the show, so it makes sense. Hunter Duke, who was at the show.
Oh, yeah.
Says, what a weekend. Every single show was amazing, but just the experience of hanging with fellow dabblers for a long weekend is the best. Sorry we missed bingo, but Barry's was amazing. Yeah, good to see Hunter Duke and his wife. We'd see them all the time now. They came to Vinny's comedy show.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I think they're here now.
This
Come on
shirt made
down.
for me.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I saw a lot of Lucy, or no, once there was Kaylee Hawaiian shirts.
Yes, yeah. Hunter Duke is absolutely amazing at doing
Yeah,
stuff like that. And they
his
had Muda
shirts are-
come out, and he was the designer of everything, and outstanding.
Yes, so thank you.
I'm riding a popsicle.
Oh, you mean on the shirt? Oh,
Yes.
okay. I was about to zoom in on you. Steph Renee says, lovely to meet and chat with you, Lucy. Maybe
And
it's
you
Steve.
too.
I don't know. Hell yeah. Our results girl on the creep off. Bed bugs were much more manageable this time around. I noticed that as well. Hell yeah.
Wasn't quite as bad.
That was cool seeing her there in the creep off. I didn't know that was going to happen.
Yeah, she was there last year too. She lives in that area.
I got that impression.
And she was great. You know what wasn't great about the creep off was my outfit.
I thought it was.
There's me and
Oh my
there's me and
God.
Vinny.
Lederhosen?
I was
I
because
got
of
my ass kicked in like the 2nd grade.
good.
My dad came back from Germany and he brought me Lederhosen, and so I put them on. I was like, I look cool, and I went running up to skateboard at the school and got my ass whooped.
Well,
Bunch of
well,
5th
well.
and 6th grader assholes.
I don't know why I didn't get my ass kicked, to be honest with you. When you're in Vegas, no one even
This
looks
triggers
twice.
the shit out
Yeah.
of me.
Like I was in the elevator on my way down to the shows wearing this, and I wanted to be like, I lost a bet. No one's even paying attention.
Nobody cares.
It doesn't
It's
matter.
Vegas.
Where there were puppets and a guy wearing a kilt too, so
That's true.
it got lost in the shuffle.
I wasn't the most ridiculous person at the show. There is that. You know who just became a new member? Ladio. Did I pronounce that name?
Sure.
Yep.
Thank you very much for becoming a new member, Ladio. You can become a member on this channel as well. You get 2 bonus shows every single month under the members tab. You can go back and look for the old ones that you've missed. So they are there for you. KFT, Carl, are you running on CPT, also FMM Tukey 2028? Sorry we were late today. I was putting my studio back together, which is ridiculous because I didn't run the show. I had nothing to do with running the show, so why I have to put my studio back together. Same with Andy over there. Stiff Minister Army, watch your back, Carl. The SMA is coming for you. Oh no! I just finally defeated the Stunt Show Army. Now I get the Stiff Minister Army coming after me. Tony Baloney, WB Sakakas. Good you have fun in Vegas. Thank you, Tony Baloney.
Hard not to.
Yeah.
Don, is Lucy interested in another future ex?
Probably.
Constantly. Yes.
always
Many. Many.
And guess what? There's no competition. Dame Taft, $5. How do I get tickets to Hackamania 3 starring WATB, promo code BEARS? I saw a lot of propaganda going on here with these broadcasters today. It seems like our friends Christian and Eric Zane were inviting themselves onto the next Hackamania, and they already have a promo code for it.
Oh,
Dame Taft.
It was very interesting meeting Dame Taft finally. Yep.
Yeah, he was hanging all weekend. Mm-hmm. And Silent Shape became a member.
Yeah, I
Thank you,
enjoyed
Silent
that.
Shape. Oh, associate producer Ralph is here, digging deep into the pockets today. Thank you. Hi, Carl. In your opinion, is the new Kanye song a 9.5 out of 10 or 10 out of 10? And why did you choose 10? Also, was it better or worse than She's So Damn Sexy? Both are embarrassing for different reasons.
Yes. Agreed.
Don't call him by his slave name. Michael Gavin Ali Show, $5. Will Hackamania event be on the channel? Carl, please bring WTP live on Long Island at Just Governor's Comedy Club or the Paramount to host the show. Come to Boston, MGA. We're just a train ride away from you. We're going to be in Boston June 21st, WTPlive.com for tickets. There's not a ton of tickets left. We have sold a lot of that room already, so get on that sooner than later. I would love to do Governors.
If you can't make it, that's okay.
Live from Massapequa. Does that?
That would be a good idea. Will Hackamania event be on the channel? It is up the Hackamania event, I guess, is everyone has their own shows. They can do what they want with. So I know Biggest Problem is up. I know This Little Piggy is up on YouTube, on their channels. And I put up our entire episode on our Patreon. And so you can see that. I also posted it on YouTube for YouTube members. But we'll be, and the audio's all there for everyone in the main feed. And we will have the video segments going up. I already posted the Opie one. Southern John's going to go up tonight. We had a bunch of segments that we did on the show. Woody from Syracuse. You want to take this one, Lucy? Your buddy Woody?
Yeah, let me see if I can read that far
Okay,
without my
if it's too
glasses on.
small,
Nope,
I can
can't.
read it for
Yeah,
you.
you
All right.
go for it.
Hello, gang. It was awesome hanging with Lucy, Chris, and Carl in Rochester last week. P.S. I'm coming to see the world-famous Isotopes June 8th. Woo!
Yay!
Well, I'm glad to hear that. We'll be playing at Beer Park, outdoor show on a Sunday
No.
afternoon.
That place is dangerous for me.
Yeah, Steve saw us there one year.
It's a lot of fun.
I was the guy standing in front of the stage screaming "motherfucker" at the top of my lungs for an hour.
A lot of people do
I
that.
was going to say,
not
you were the only
humiliating.
one.
Yeah, it's just
Not
normal
at all
at the shows.
humiliating in retrospect.
Ray Purbut says, this reaction isn't at all like Aaron's was. Can we add some coke, please? Yeah, you're right. Is that all they got? Is that all Vito Giswaldi's got? I was the subject of biggest problem in the universe. on
So
the
was
show.
I.
Yeah. All right. You called
Yeah.
us both out for liking The Simpsons. Burned us pretty good with that one.
Or not liking them well enough, in my case.
Right. Noel Harding, $5. Carol dragging his club feet, uploading the video on demand. You know it's bad when biggest problem uploads before you. All right. All right. We've been busy, everyone.
Less to do.
Jim Larison, $20. Had a great weekend in Vegas. Thanks for all you do. Thank you, Jim. Thanks for hanging out with us and being there. I'll say it. We say it every time. These live shows get better and better. They're always more fun. They always run more smoothly.
Yeah.
And everyone who comes, they're worried about it at first. They're like, wow, I don't really know anyone. And I talk to a lot of people who are like, oh, I don't really have like a name or anything. You wouldn't know who I am. It's like, I don't need to know Discord handles or YouTube handles. Like, just tell me who you are. You're going to meet other people and you're all going to have common experiences and things that you like that you, and that was the other cool thing about this show. There were some biggest problem in the universe fans.
Yeah.
There were people who came up to me and said, I've been listening to Patrick Melton since 2005.
Yeah.
My new friend Megan and her husband was like, oh my gosh, I've been listening to Patrick Melton for 20 years. And then they come to this thing and there's, obviously people who are there for the Creep Off and for who are these podcasts and Weird Medicine. And everyone gets along and everyone's watching all the different shows and things.
More wives got dragged to this one too because it was Mother's Day. And the phenomenon there is I've had quite a few of them say, I've never heard of any of this stuff, and I had a blast. So even people who aren't into this stuff can get it because this stuff is funny.
Yeah.
Perfect
It's
Mother's
very
Day.
visual.
What
Yeah,
you're
it was a
saying.
great Mother's Day gift. Let's talk about drinking cum. Jesus.
Speaking of which, Michael C says, come licking for the wheel of consequence. Now, the reason why we're not going to do that is because I always fucking lose at the Creep Off. If it was a 50-50 chance. No. Dermbag says, my wife's a big Lucy fan. Thrilled to ride an elevator with her. Last year, we rode an elevator with Vinny after he killed a hooker. It was awkward. Yeah,
We've
Vinny
all
would be
had
my
that
choice.
experience.
Lucy would be my choice, too. KB is watching you in his Kleenex box shoes. Is he sniping right now? Troy Smith. Hi, kids. Welcome back. Glad you had fun. FSJ FKB. Thanks, Troy.
Troy Smith,
Hey, buddy.
the artist behind the Wet Brain card game. He did an amazing
Oh,
job.
yes.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
we should,
Troy.
we should talk about that as well. Noel Harding, episode not on Patreon. Oh, but it is.
I think it might be on your regular feed.
It is on the regular feed audio, but
Okay.
the whole video I uploaded to Patreon
Oh, okay.
yesterday, I believe. And if I'm wrong about that, I'll be disappointed in myself because I'm positive I did that.
I haven't gotten my video yet, at least not that I know of.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I guess you're not a priority.
Busy. No, I'm not.
Skinny Tooth John, $10 said, love seeing everyone again in Vegas. Lucy is amazing as always. See y'all next year.
It's true.
Steve Morton, $5. Using the Melendez scale, how drunk was the woman who was constantly yelling stuff during This Little Piggy?
Oh, she had a 3 on the Melendez scale.
Yeah, on the Melendez scale, she was a 3, but
Do the math.
she was sitting right in front of us too, and
yeah.
thought she was part of the show
Yeah.
for quite some time.
There's always a few.
Yes, there are. But we appreciate everyone for coming out and having fun.
I didn't hear her on the recording.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I didn't hear anybody, annoying on the recording.
Unidirectional
well, except for,
microphones. Waver
on the
says,
stage.
I was the creep in the walking boot. Hi, Dr. Steve.
Hello.
Hey, Waver. The one pun. Are we going to get Cletus and Tukey spin-off?
Now, you've seen the last of Cletus, I think.
Shucks.
That was just a way to blow up my spot. Yeah, I know. Thank you.
People
It was
are
just a way to
demanding
blow
it.
up my spot. It was fun, though.
Queefer Comic Book Adult Stutterland, 20 Mexican pesos maybe. Carla, take away that blanket from Jenny, please.
Yes.
Hashtag Jenny Jingles World Order.
I like how Jenny's leaning into the.
It's freezing down here.
I know. It's that time of year when the AC gets turned on and our basement gets very chilly with that, which means hard nipples. I know what I'm doing, guys. I've been running the podcast for a while now. Koof, our buddy Koof, who was hanging out all weekend with us on the Super Tip system, supertip.gg/WATP.
Thank you putting together a great event and also for not killing yourself.
Cool.
Thank you, Koof.
I always love seeing him at the shows.
Yeah, he's great.
He's an incredible artist, too.
Oh, look at who's here. Moody is here.
Hey.
And Moody, he could do this for free because he's got the pass. You know, he's controls the system, but it looks like he gave us $5.
Mr. Super Tip himself.
Yeah, that's right. I get the lederhosen, but was atrophying your calf muscles also a consequence? Had a great time with all of you. Bring on Hackamania 3. I agree, Moody. He's a great guy.
God, he
Very
is.
fun hang.
It was great
And
talking with him.
Brilliant dude.
He
too.
brought some chocolates for us from New Zealand.
Delicious.
They're delicious. And a bag of vinegar potato chips that I have not yet opened.
Maybe we'll try them after.
Maybe we'll try
I'm
them.
hungry.
I saw your faces
Aaron,
now.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. His Aaron graph was brilliant.
Oh,
That-
yeah.
Yes,
With the
that really was.
graphic.
This little piggy
Yes, it
was
really
incredible. I agree. We can't see this. Let me move Andy up. Yoink. Third Moon, Hidden and Forbidden Knowledge, $5. Says Hackamania was great. Big ups to Melton for putting this all together. He is amazing in person. Complete 180 from his NLO persona, by the way.
Correct.
What a fun weekend. If you didn't come, please come out to these events. Thank you, OJ. Yeah, thank you, OJ, for not
Thank you,
coming
OJ.
to this event. Yeah, Patrick is very easy to get along with.
Sweetheart.
Yeah, he really
And
is,
so talented. Absolutely amazing event.
for sure.
It was the best
A lot of work.
performance from OJ on that. They just had the orange sitting on the
Yes.
deck. That was OJ.
Yeah.
said.
For this
He
little
killed
piggy.
it.
All right, I want to bring up the butter eating contest real quick. Lucy, of course, was a participant. You were
That is
a heavy
true.
favorite. People have seen you eat butter before. They thought maybe you'd have an advantage. And I regret to inform everyone, Lucy did not win the butter eating contest. Do we know who won? Remember his name? I don't either.
The lefty, I think. It was.
Clifford? Something like that.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
Yeah.
Well, here's the bad
I didn't
news.
stand a chance. He
He went
He
south.
inhaled
slaughtered
it.
me. He slaughtered
It
me.
was gross. It was gross.
But sorry to interrupt, but Lucy continued to eat butter even after the contest was over, which really, I don't know, you should get like.
Well, I thought everyone got
Thrown
25
in a
bucks
straight
if they
jacket for
finished.
that. What's that, Dr. Steve? I'm sorry.
I thought everyone got 20. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on your line. I thought everybody got 25 bucks if they finished it. So there was somebody at the bar apparently that was still eating it like an hour
was me.
later. Oh, that was you.
someone at the bar.
Somebody
Somebody.
keep the butter.
me.
No, it was somebody. It was somebody else. But they should have had fastest and hottest, and Lucy would have won the last.
Well, not so fast. Mary Beth Rosie was also a contestant. And the reason why I brought this up is because I found out after the fact, would have been nice to know beforehand, that if she would have won, she was going to flash the crowd.
Oh,
We could have like cut it in half. We
Yeah,
could have,
give her a little pad like
yeah,
in the restaurant.
that'd be hilarious. She just gets one out. Done.
require two
butter
hands.
shooter.
Handicap. Like
I'm just gonna say I got a little sneak peek of that, and you all missed out.
Oh, so no offense to Clifford, but come on, man. But I guess what we could do is go to onlyfans.com/MaryBethRosie.
Yes.
Mary
All right.
Beth with an I.
I'm on my way.
All right, but stay on here for a minute, guys.
Me too. Me too.
And then we'll get back to it. Dr. Steve, thank you so much for making it out. Of course, you came in pretty late on Saturday. I don't know how you were able to do it because you had a long day at your son's graduation. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I did 24 hours without eating, drinking, or sleeping.
They do have food on airplanes though, and beverages.
Yeah, not on. They didn't feed us. I mean, I guess I got a bag of chips, so I'm exaggerating a little bit, but yeah, it was a long day, but it was fun putting all the young people to bed, and they're all like, "Oh, I'm tired." I'm like, "No, we're gonna keep going."
Yeah, seriously, you could not tell that Dr. Steve had been up all day and put on that show because you seemed spry.
Well, a lot of that was adrenaline.
Yeah.
I definitely didn't want to disappoint the crowd or my lovely co-host, particularly because she and I had been talking about this for quite some time, and to get up there and just shit the bed would have been bad. So I'm glad it went as well as it did. It was a lot of fun, and it was a very friendly crowd. I can't take too much credit for how it went. It was just they were very willing to enjoy the show.
See, this is Steve can't ever just take credit for
No,
something. He
but
just
it's
like,
true.
it went really well. Because
Really
even right after the event, I was talking to him like, holy shit, that was epic. Congratulations. He said the same thing to me there. There's a reason why you have a friendly crowd. Like when Def Leppard was on the road in 1987, they weren't just like, this is too easy. Everyone's here to enjoy themselves. Like, yeah, that's the whole fucking point of this.
What an interesting analogy.
But seriously, though, it's like they're there to see a great show, and you put on a great show, and they're excited about it.
Well,
Like,
I'm glad.
Dr. Steve put on an amazing show and then immediately started trying to clean up the stage instead of taking any applause. Would not take any applause. I was like, Dr. Steve, stop cleaning up
there
the
was a
stuff from
Dr.
the
Steve
stage.
chant
I didn't know
going
what
on.
to do with that.
Everyone was
People
chanting
were.
Dr. Steve, and Steve's like,
know.
stop it.
It was a standing ovation. It was amazing.
Yes.
It's like
Because of you. Because of you, Dr. Steve.
Exactly what Def Leppard does. They're like, hey, everyone be quiet. All
You're
right.
embarrassing us. Come on.
Leppard can come out and play an encore. I didn't have anything. It was like, what am I supposed to do with this? I didn't know what to do with it. I've never experienced anything like that.
Cletus.
More Cletus.
I had a few more Cletus jokes. I would have chased him out of there.
Could have
That was one of the greatest experiences of my life, for real. And I can say, I did a live show in Vegas. That was just incredible. And I appreciate everyone who came out and just were so nice. And thank you to you all. Carl, if it weren't, now I'm going to lick your balls a little bit. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't be in this thing because Anthony turned me on. Thank you. What'd you just cut me on? Oh, I thought.
Oh, no. I'm saying go on.
Yeah.
You have the floor now, Dr.
Sorry.
Steve. Yep.
For a second there, I thought you'd pulled an Opie on me and just hung up on me halfway through my
never.
soliloquy. But yeah, no, Anthony turned me on to WATP. I reached out to Carl after a few episodes saying this is the same vibe that O&A had.
Remember how I responded to you, Dr. Steve?
I don't.
I didn't respond to you at all. I missed your email. Months went by. No email back. Dr. Steve finally followed up with an email like 3 or 4 months later, like, hey, I don't know if you got my other email, but I just wanted to connect with you. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, fuck, I missed Dr. Steve's email. I got to get a new system in place.
Oh, that's funny. I don't remember that. at
Yeah,
all.
I remember that because I felt really bad. I'm like, what other emails am I missing?
Oh, I'm used to it. That's why I don't remember it. It's just, par for the course.
I was disappointed in myself. Anyway.
And and then here we are, and it was a great privilege to be able to do my last Sirius XM show live in Las Vegas, and thank you to all of you all for
well, since you
just
brought
being
that
good
up,
friends.
well, thank you, Dr. Steve. You're a good friend as well. Always fun hanging with you. But since you brought that up, that reminds me of another story. The Sorcerer was there.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Now, the
I got to meet
Sorcerer, yeah. He was hanging out, and the Sorcerer, of course, is very well known. If KB is sniping this, he might want to hear this story. The Sorcerer, of course, very well known on MLC, and he came up to me and he just said, "Hey, Carl, I just want you to know, the reason why I know about any of this stupid shit is from WATP. Right around the pandemic, you guys reviewed, I think it was How Did This Get Made? The show with a couple people from the league on there, Paul Scheer and
Jason Mantzoukas.
Jason Mantzoukas.
And June Diane Raphael, your very favorite.
Who could
sucks.
forget?
But yeah, he let me know that WTP was the gateway drug into the hackverse, into the whatever this is. And then what the Sorcerer did after that was he bought everyone at the show a shot.
Everybody and then some.
I was told he dropped $2,000 at the bar just for shots.
Yep.
Right before WATP, I'm like, all right, well, lube them up, thanks. This will be good. I appreciate
I
it.
may be wrong. I saw the bill. I don't think it was that much, but it was
Okay.
significant.
Those shots
I'm not
never
minimizing
ended.
it.
Yeah.
And
there
they
was a
were
lot of
the
shots.
color of KB.
They were.
Ayo.
It was Alabama Slammer or something.
Yeah, it must have taken forever to prepare those. Andy, I don't know if we've talked to you yet about the highlights of the show or the weekend, not the show, the weekend, Vegas.
Yeah.
Do any gambling? Do you have any fun?
The Vegas.
Well, yeah, I had a great time. The highlight of the episodes, I thoroughly enjoyed Adam Bush on Chad Zumach. Just
Yep.
Adam low key shitting on Chad to his face was delightful for me. And
agree.
of course, Weird Medicine, the Creep Off. If you're not on the Creep Off Patreon, when it went behind the paywall, if you weren't there, that shit is all great. The pedo hunting stuff. There's one phenomenal highlight in there that's worth the money.
The
I don't
alley-oop.
wanna-
Oh,
Yeah, I don't want to spoil it, but
Yeah.
the
cop cam footage.
The
cop
cop,
cam was
Carl's
wild.
cop cam did not disappoint. I was excited. We had Dick Matchson up and Brian Johnson up for that. And I was told by a few people, I break it up into clips. And so we're watching this police chase through Las Vegas for like 3 or 4 clips. People are going, okay, where are we going with this? And then it gets crazy.
Oh, it goes somewhere.
It really did.
There's a payoff for sure.
That was great. Things outside the show, we all went and saw the Whippets at the bar, and that cover band is phenomenal. They're just taking requests off the top of their head. They just know everything. And
the guitarist is a virtuoso. He can just play
That's
better than
incredible.
anyone.
And fucking hilarious.
And hilarious, too. Yes.
Yeah. And despite the fact that Dr. Steve was up all night post show, he was like the first person up in the morning. I'm hanging out, and Vinny and Dr. Steve are like, "Oh, we're going to breakfast," and we all went to the Hard Rock with Annie, review girl Annie, and Dane Taft piled in with us, and then I death marched Dr. Steve up the strip from Hard Rock to the Hera, and I started.
Long walk.
It's a real long walk.
Oh yeah,
Well, he's
especially
got his phone out, and we're walking a mile down this way, and then Andy goes, "Oh, wait a minute, it's back this way."
What an asshole.
I got about 10,000 steps in that day.
I made everybody cross to the wrong side of the street and start walking the wrong way.
That was fun.
suck.
Yeah.
Well, the one thing I'll say about the Whippet show, because Jen and I have seen them many times at this point. It's our favorite cover band, and I'm not a big cover band guy. But when we're in Vegas, we love it because it's at Carnival Court. And the problem with that place is, do they pour some strong drinks? That set me up on a trajectory that my Sunday went, whoo!
It was fun to watch you.
That's crazy.
The bartender would pour vodka into one of those big shaker cups, and then he would flip it over his shoulder while he's pouring more vodka into the cup, and then he would take the vodka that he put in the shaker cup and pour it in there. It's like, dude, it's all the same shit.
Well, it's a show, Steve.
Well, I get it, but it's
not trying to
90%
mix it.
vodka, and
Yeah.
you know,
Oh,
they were
yes.
very difficult to drink.
They were 90% vodka. Were not difficult to drink at all,
Well, for me,
but not good.
I'm an old man.
Yeah, I am too. All right. Do you guys want to talk about Aaron's response to all of this?
Yes.
Oh God, yes.
Because this was a crazy event that happened. There was so much. Everyone was talking about this is going to be crazy. Nick Rekieta is going to be there. He's going to talk about things that I've never heard before and give out his perspective on things, because Aaron for a year has been getting away with having just one point of view on their little thruple thing that they've been doing. And so he was the only one telling the stories and giving out the narrative for all this time.
Right.
And this was finally the time that Nick's going to bring receipts and tell his story and come on This Little Piggy and chat about all of this.
My
And so
question, I'm sorry, before you get to that, my question is, did Aaron think that no one was ever going to speak about this from that other group?
Steve,
he had to know.
I swear to you, I know I said this. It has to be somewhere. After Aaron went on Kino Casino and gave details about their sex life and about, and then Nick was watching me and his wife do this, and then this happened, and he's like going through all the details about drug use and sex and all this shit. I'm like, oh, what an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to be able to tell their side of things too, because he's painting this picture like they're all degenerates. And they sucked him in for a minute, but he rose above it because he's better than all of them. Yeah. And they're all losers. And I knew from that day, Steve, I'm like, oh, we're going to hear the other people's side of this. Mm-hmm. And that's not going to go well for Mr. Imholte.
There will always be a
hear it.
reckoning.
Yeah. And it also just was such a shitty thing to do anyway, even regardless of how things ended. You don't just tell people lurid details like that on the internet, like to strangers and shit.
No, he was
You don't
trying
do
to
it
get out in front of it, but
Right.
that wasn't the way to do it.
No.
So this is the consequence. This is what happens when you do that.
Correct. And I mentioned this during the show on This Little Piggy. I'll say it again because I do feel very strongly about this. I would feel so gross about all of this if Aaron didn't completely deserve it. if Aaron didn't set himself up for everything that happened to him, I'd feel really weird about what came out during this Little Piggy.
I definitely agree. Aaron completely deserves it. However, I also think that Aaron and Nick deserve each other. I don't necessarily think that there's a great situation that has happened out of any of this for either of those guys.
Sure.
Yep.
Christian is on the show. What's up, Christian Blatt?
Oh, hello.
Who are these broadcasters? Christian Blatt already promoting the promo code BEARS.
Promo code BEARS for Hackamania 3. Eric Zane and I we might be on a side stage, like when you go to the Warped Tour, the bands you don't really, but we're going to do it on a side stage. And Easy and I are really excited.
You guys can run out one of those circles on Fremont Street.
Oh,
the
that'd be
street
awesome.
performers. Well, it's like, who wants to see bears? Who wants to see? Anyone want to see bears?
Apparently, there'll be a market for our $75 T-shirts, so it'll probably work out really well.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. So I lost the creep off, of course.
Of course.
And because of that, I had to wear a shirt during WATP, well, the rest of the day, that said, "Sounds gay, I'm in." Very, very big letters. So that's the shirt I'm wearing if you see WATP from that show. And that was on Fremont Street. Jen and I noticed it. We were going and grabbing brunch one day. And I mentioned it to Vinny. Like, that's a pretty funny shirt, because last year I had to wear a shirt that said, "Sorry I'm late, I'm gay, and I was having gay sex." Mm-hmm. So I thought, it's in the same kind of vibe. $75 T-shirt.
I see that you're in your coping.
Black shirt with white text on it.
Yeah.
Now, of course, Vinny got a 2XL because he doesn't know that there's other sizes. But
He's like, "You look skinny."
I only got you 2XL. But $75 seems pretty excessive. No. If you were,
especially
as it will.
for like the cheap version of Vegas. If it was the
Fremont
the
Street.
high roller strip, maybe you can get away with that. But that's
most of the shirts there are like $4 for $12.
Right. It's like those stupid little shops where they just want you to buy a bunch of crap.
That's what they sell.
Yep.
I think they're just counting on people being obliterated and not knowing what they're spending on garbage.
Maybe they saw,
you think in Vegas?
Maybe they saw Vinny and just went, "Oh, look at this rube." Just changing out price tags as he's walking in.
They're printing it to order.
And I should mention, Vinny has the link, so if he wants to come out and defend himself. All right, let's watch a little bit of Aaron. I want to see how you guys react to this. I think this has made the rounds at this point, but definitely worth checking out.
And then April
All right, we want to start from the beginning here.
So we had another all that for a drop of blood moment in Las Vegas this weekend where Nick sat next to his cuck fridge and regaled people with his one.
Yeah, good points. You might want to not talk about bodily fluids when you start this segment off. So he says, Nick sat next to his cuck fridge. Now, I just want to point out that this fridge that he's talking about was purchased by Aaron for their bedroom because they like to eat
cold cut.
They like to eat charcuteries. Yes, there's me posing with the cuck fridge. I was very excited to beat it. What an ugly fucking fridge this is. Thanks, Aaron.
That's the problem with it. That's the problem.
Right, that's the fridge, right?
I need to reimburse you for the yogurt I ate out of there.
Oh.
Yeah, there were some funny props.
Got some bad news for you.
There were some funny props in there. And, it was biggest problem in the universe and then
Salty
This Little Piggy.
yogurt.
And Dick decided to just start showing what we had set up for This Little Piggy. He's like, "Oh, let me just go into this refrigerator I didn't bring and laugh about this stuff." Like, what, motherfucker? Bring your own props to the show. All right. Yeah, so Aaron's immediately, the first cope is nothing happened. It was a big nothing. All that for a drop of blood, he says.
His cuck fridge and regaled people with his one-sided stories of his cuck adventures of the last year and a half.
Okay, so the way he's getting out in front of us, Nick's the cuck. And the fridge is a cuck fridge. And he's got one-sided cuck stories. Like, he just keeps saying cuck over and over again. Nick's not the one licking up cum off of his wife.
A human body. I was just going to say, that's not what I heard.
Yeah, right, exactly.
In the presentation.
I mean, you could say Nick's a cuck over and over again as much as you want, but it doesn't change the facts or what everybody learned.
Well, it was
at the show.
one-sided because Aaron wasn't there, but Aaron already told his side of the story.
It's always been one-sided, but he didn't have a problem with it when he
Always.
was the only one talking, and it was fine. Honest Aaron.
Now people were like,
Someone talking?
I'm sorry. I was going to say it wasn't damning at all. Don't go listen to the show or anything, but it was a complete waste of time. Nobody got fucked except Nick.
Don't worry. Johnny Crutches didn't listen to a second of it. This fucking guy, I don't understand. I guess I understand what his role is just to like be like, oh yeah, whatever you say, Aaron. Yeah, that's right. Wouldn't you show up if a big event like this happened? Wouldn't you show up on Monday morning having watched it and be like, oh yeah, I saw that. Whoa, what? I have some questions for you or something.
He probably can't bear to believe it's actually true.
Who, Johnny Crutches?
Johnny Crutches.
He knows.
Wow.
He works with this guy.
He doesn't want to
knows.
believe it.
Well, I think the prevailing theory is that he doesn't watch any of this extracurricular stuff because he hates Aaron more than anyone else. And he's just like, this is a gig, but he's never having fun when he's there. And he, I saw a little bit of this when Shuli covered it, and he pushes back a little bit. And I'm like, oh, this isn't a guy who cares if he gets to keep his job.
He doesn't push back much.
No, but a little.
He goes along with everything Aaron says.
Look, he's no Clay Dabbler, all right?
stories of his cuck adventures of the last year and a half. Now people were like, they were excited on Friday, but then by yesterday, they're all getting mad at me again. Like, they're like, how's he going to spin it? How's he going to, and they're like, mad. I'm like, guys, this is supposed to be the time when you're happy.
All right, so let's talk about that. This is one of the things that Aaron does. He likes to say that people are mad.
Yeah.
Why are people mad? What are they all mad about? Like I said, I never do this, but I did tweet at Aaron because I was interested after seeing This Little Piggy myself. I mean, all that stuff was new to me. So I tweeted out the photo of the crowd, and I said, night one of Hackamania is in the books. The evidence did not disappoint. How is Aaron Imholte going to spin this? Get the stream at hackamania.com, and then I tagged all the shows that were coming up the next day on there. It's got 5,400 views. That's cool. This is, I believe, what Aaron is talking about. People getting mad. Does that seem mad, or does it seem like a promo for people to buy the stream and watch the show?
Did not disappoint would initiate to me.
Well, it depends on how you read it. If you read it, night one is in the books. Then
how do you read that angry? I'm obviously having a blast, and I'm very excited about what's going on. Did not disappoint.
He's screaming cuck. Well, meanwhile, your wife left you and moved in with another man. Like, how are you trying to say that the other guy that is a cuck?
It's so black and white, and that's what's so crazy about Aaron just talking to Johnny Crutches. Because any normal person would just be like, well, hold on a second. You're saying Nick's the cuck. What do you mean? how do you figure?
Not our Johnny.
Not our Johnny. Just like, yeah, that cuck. You got him.
I don't think that word means what you think it means.
Right.
I mean, clearly he's the cuck. He destroyed Aaron's wife and destroyed the sheets they were on that night. And all of that was documented. So clearly he's the cuck, Carl.
That's the other thing, too. So what we learned about from Nick Rekieta is that Nick did things to April that Aaron's not able to do. And then when April would tell Aaron about this, it got him very excited. He loved to hear about, oh, what did Nick do? Oh, how did that make you feel? And so that would like get him off, which is very cuck mentality, obviously. I mean, I was talking about this with everyone. I didn't want to say it on the show because he's a friend and everything, but Jim Norton used to talk about this on Opie and Anthony back in the day. And Jim would always talk about how when he had a girlfriend, he'd ask the girlfriend about ex-boyfriends and how big their penises were, and that would get him excited. Jim Norton went on to marry a chick with a penis. So I just want to say, like, if this is what Aaron is into, and there's nothing wrong with that, except for he's playing alpha male morning radio shock jock guy. So it doesn't really work with his persona. And I was trying to spin it that Nick is the one who got off on him banging his wife. It's so stupid.
Does anybody know if Nicky Norton has a brother that might be interested in Aaron?
Nobody's interested in Aaron, but
thank
you for good thought, though.
I'm just trying to help, you know?
Good thought. Yep.
And they're like, Matt, I'm like, guys, this is supposed to be the time when you're happy. I didn't know that they were all going to look at a bunch of pictures of my body. That was a little like super. Yeah. Oh, ready for this? So we're definitely going to put together a steel toe calendar, Johnny.
No, they're not.
I'm going to make you look at it. Nick had a.
So this is
It'll
Aaron's,
say what the goal is for every day.
this is Aaron's hilarious spin. Oh, I'm going to make a calendar of all my sexy poses.
I think it's the
Are
same
ya?
cope. I think it's the same cope. When he was talking to April about, I'm sure he was into it. I think he was a little jealous, and he was trying to put off the vibe that, yeah, I'm so into this. This is so cool. But inside, he was seething because some of those texts that he sent to Nick were really almost disturbing, and you could tell there was a part of him that was devastated by all of this.
Oh yeah, there's one that we didn't even look at that's up on Nick's Twitter that I can show you in a little bit. Remind me, but it shows you how upset he was with what went down with April. And one of the other things that we found out from this weekend, Aaron's acting like there's nothing new, no new information. We learned that Aaron groomed April. He was the one who planted this idea, like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if you went with him? And he was into this before April was.
Don't you think it started for clout though, and then turned into this horrendous quagmire of
I think it's both because he's
relationship?
obviously into cuck porn. That's been proven.
All right. Okay.
But I think you're right. He wouldn't do it with just any guy, but a guy with a YouTube channel with that many subs and that many views and making that much money in super chats. That could do something for us.
That's a good point that Dr. Steve is making also. Was he pretending to be into it because he thought that she was into it and he was trying to keep her? But
That's
also,
how I've saw it. Yeah.
Okay, so let me just say this once and for all, because Aaron has confirmed this is true, that we know Aaron's specific web history. He goes to Kiwi Farms, reads about Nick Rekieta, and then immediately goes to Pornhub and watches cock videos. So if you think he wasn't into this, he was just doing it for clout and just to build his YouTube channel, not the case. He's
pretty strong evidence.
That's just an added bonus.
Pretty strong evidence. And then when you add in the whole bed sheets thing, again, this is all new information. He acts like nothing new came out. But the first time Nick and April got together, he apparently blew her out, so to speak. And there was some vaginal blood on the sheets. And the story of this got Aaron very excited for months to come. Maybe to this day.
The other question I have is, did he do this? Is this the kind of thing where he's like, oh, like if we're swingers, then I'll be able to fuck other chicks. So I'll groom you to want to fuck other guys, so I'll be able to fuck other chicks, and then it completely backfires on him.
I think he wanted to fuck other guys. I don't think it's chicks. I don't.
Okay, but Andy, to that point, I think there is something to that. You get bored of your wife and you're like, well, if she starts sleeping around, I can start sleeping around and we can be swingers. The problem with Aaron is that he fell in love. When you're a swinger, when you're a swinger community, that's like the first rule. Right. You don't get feelings and emotions. And these are Aaron's own words. He was in love. They were soulmates. He was in love with Kayla.
Oh, okay.
So he did it wrong. Hey, wouldn't it be cool? I started banging other chicks. You started banging other guys. Oh, shit, I'm in love.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
They're together now, right?
Yeah.
No. Oh, no.
Listen, no one wants this shit out there. This is sad for everybody.
Sure.
Because, it's just nobody, except the most extreme exhibitionist wants this kind of story out there. But once Aaron started with this, there was no way that they weren't going to finish it. So
it's not sad for me.
I just wonder where April is and Kayla both are in on, at this point with this. Now that the whole thing is out, I think
they want it to go away.
Yeah.
They want it to have no one talk about it ever again.
Do you guys think that Aaron pitched this to everybody the same way that he tries to get a rally started? He's like, hey, April, wouldn't it be funny if I gave you 5 inches and Nick gave you 5 inches? And then, I'll give Kayla 5 inches and Nick will give her. And then before you know it, all of a sudden we'll knock the whole goal out. What do you say?
Mm-hmm. I think you nailed it.
He is good at that.
She said, is the cocaine still free?
Let's get caught up on Super Tips. Supertip.gg/WATP is where you can go to not only support this program, but you can also participate. There's 1,300 people in here watching live. We appreciate all of you folks for being here for the Hackamania wrap-up. KJ, who we'll be seeing next month. Yeah. She says, live stream was great. $20. Thank you very much, KJ. Always supporting the show. We appreciate you. And we'll be seeing her at the Boston show, WATPlive.com.
Yes.
is where you can see us at the City Winery in beautiful downtown Boston, June 21st. Frederick Flintstone, did you guys go to steak dinner with Melton? I sure did. We all did. Wait.
Yeah.
Not we all. Most of us.
I didn't.
I wasn't there.
It was great.
Christian wasn't there yet. Andy wasn't there yet. Steve wasn't there yet. The rest of us were.
I had the Joey C steak.
Oh. What was it? Free?
Yeah.
Stolen?
No.
Did its dick not work?
Had a little
Yes.
tracksuit.
The way that the way the dinner worked, though, I didn't eat with Melton. We had 5 tables of 6? 6 tables of 6?
Yeah.
So each of us had different tables, and I sat with Jenny Jingles.
Yes.
Annie, our review girl, was there. Mark Davis, $10 says, we might feel bad if Aaron and SJ weren't such pompous lying scumbags, but they are. So we don't. Hopefully Rocco gets to ask Aaron if his ex-wife ever queefed in his face.
Well played.
I love it.
You guys are just obsessed with me being a cum-licking cuck who would abandon his kids. Another spin for the toe.
Has anyone said and another spin for the toe? It's so obvious. It's great.
Going on the board.
The whole thing with the kids, and actually we'll get to that in the clip if we get to that in the clip, because that's Christian's eyes just went huge. Could you imagine putting that in writing?
The whole thing is terrible, but that is next level. That's the worst thing that anybody could say, what he said there.
He literally said, listen, I would choose April over my kids. Because she's hot.
I saw.
She's hot. It would suck if she left me.
And my kids are ugly, so.
Well, because
Didn't he call her a fallen angel at one
a
point?
fallen angel. Yeah, you don't get this chance on Earth to find a fallen angel.
Fallen angels are demons. They're not angels, right?
He really is stupid. You're right.
Well,
Yeah, they're not clumsy.
we did talk about what happened to those sheets. Only a demon would do that to those sheets, Dr. Steve.
Okay.
But the reason why it came up is because, and this was another thing we found out at Hackamania, because Nick owns this other house next to his house. Mm-hmm. And there was talk of Aaron and April buying that, and then they'd be like, perfect. We all fuck each other. We live next door. It's great. It's going to be fantastic. And we found out that was actually Aaron's idea to buy the house. It's an hour away from where his kids live. So it could have fucked up the agreement he has with his ex-wife, the mother of his children, for visitation and things like that. So I think that's why he's saying, like, yeah, but, if we're going to go there, I'll be with April. Like, whoa. Wow. These are young children, too.
Yeah.
Anyway. Stuttering John would be proud. Amanda Lindappy.
I'm still waiting for my live stream to download. I have dial-up because I am afraid of fiber optics. You think Vegas was fun? You should have been in Ohio. 3 swingers. Couples were burned. The steak.
Thank you very much, OJ. Thank you,
OJ.
Thank you, OJ.
Oh, look who's showing up here from a minute ago. Now I see what Dr. Steve was busy doing.
Finally, a show where I don't have to pay to speak. Oh, wait. God damn it.
Doing it wrong, Steve. Doghouse Riley says, didn't get a chance to meet Carl, but talked to Grant twice. Dare I say the cool brother? Nice pipes, Jenny.
Oh, thank you.
Everyone talked to Grant at least twice. It seemed like he was the talk of the town, making the rounds. Chatting up
Here's
everybody.
another one that dragged me around. He took me down to see that fucking mantis down at the other end of Fremont Street. And it's cool. It's cool. It breathes fire, and then it was turned off. I love Grant, though.
That's the story of Grant right there.
It's fun to hang around with.
Proxy NSL, $5. Always a great pleasure seeing WTP live. You guys are a blast, and the show was fantastic. Carl's not as gay in person, I promise.
Yeah, even with the lederhosen.
I turn it off for Vegas. Some people turn it on, I turn it off. Woody from Syracuse. PPS, Lucy, I'll DM you my crap movie list to do a once over. I have some celluloid sewage that might be fun to goof on. I refuse to watch Geely, F. J-Lo. Are you two having a private conversation?
Yeah, we'll leave you alone.
Should I get out of the way of this? I apologize. James P., glad to have you all back. Glad to be back, James P. Red 473, $5. Ticket booted Ticket booted. Ticket booked for Boston. See you all there. Can't wait to buy you all around. I can't wait for you to buy us all around.
Yeah, right?
Red 473. Looking forward to it. Rob Johnson with a $2.99 super sticker. Diablo Sandwich, $5. After Steve, big fan. If there were any injustice in the world, you would be a household name instead of that hack Dr. Drew. Flua.
Oh, thank you, my friend.
I think I called Dr. Steve Dr. Drew at our live show.
I think you did.
Was that in Chicago? Where did you
Yeah,
go?
it was Chicago. That was okay.
Yeah. I was like, hey, Dr. Drew.
Whoops.
Steve says that was okay, but he remembers exactly which city it was in.
Good point. Laziest man on Mars,
Damn it,
$5.
Christian.
In the whole of the Dabbleverse, Aaron is most capable of murder. Doesn't understand that other people have actual thoughts. He is disturbed mentally. Well, I had private conversations with certain people that were a little concerned about that, but it seems like Aaron's doing fine.
He's been working on himself, Carl.
Yeah, he's coping. He's okay. Diablo Sandwich, Joey C. Steak equals fraudulently bought with FEMA funds. Dang Lizard, it seems like everyone had a good old time. Congrats. Dang Lizard, when are we going to get you to the States to one of these
Yeah,
shows?
he's got to come.
A gay old time, Carl.
What did I say?
Good.
Well, you said good because gay equals good in your mind.
All right, there you go. Noel Harding, not a bag slapper tier at least. Carl, please concede. Not on a bag slapper tier. Oh, yeah, for sure it is. All right, I'll check. I will check that. Noel is saying that you can't find the whole video of who are these podcasts on our Patreon. Yeah, I thought I put it up there yesterday.
I'm a
last
YouTube
night.
member, and I saw it on there. I can't speak to Patreon, but I know it was on YouTube.
Okay. Well, if I fucked it up, I will fix it. Thank you for the heads up on that.
That's why pencils have erasers.
That's why, yes. That's why keyboards have backspaces. All right, let's get back to
Actually,
Aaron.
before we get back into it, I got to sneak off, guys. I just
Okay.
want to say thank you so much for having me today. It was so much fun hanging out with everybody at Hackamania, and I can't wait to see everybody in Boston.
Fuck yeah, Lucy.
All right,
Thank
bye.
you, Lucy. You're
Once
the
over with
best.
Kaylee is where you want to go on YouTube. Oh, and she went away just as I was zoomed in on her.
Looks like it is there. Oh, wait, that's this, though, isn't it? Never mind.
Yeah, that's what this show is.
Dr. Steve just
I'm
getting
weird.
himself.
Okay, all right. I'm okay, boomer. Yeah, that's not up there.
It's not up there.
I don't see it.
All right. I'll check it.
All right.
I will check that out. My fault. My bad. I apologize. I wonder if I just didn't hit send or something.
That's
I just
what
did not
I've
hit
done
the
that
last-
before.
The last button. I don't know. All right. Well, thank you for that heads up. I'll get that fixed right after this.
A bunch of pictures, like one in front of the mirror of me with my shirt off in the run up to one of my fights that ended up getting canceled. I was like, God, I'm still like 10 pounds away or 5 pounds away from fighting weight. So there you go, guys. That never changed. And so I sent a picture to the group chat because we were all living as a family. Yeah, I know it's disgusting. It's gross. I get every time I say that, people cringe. I do too, believe me. But he sent that picture, and I was like, ooh, I still got some work to do. And then there was like one that somebody, I don't know who, somebody took a picture of me like in bed with my shirt off. And then this group of guys, and if you saw these people who were in Vegas this weekend, I mean, some of the most hopeless, dead-end, 470-pound.
Only the people who go to the Steel Toe 10th anniversary show and chant the N-word. No, the people who went all the way to Vegas to see a live podcast, they're the losers. Not the local yokels who came down to the biker bar where you did a show you didn't prepare for at all and let
see a
Johnny
single
crawl off
loser
the
there.
stage.
Not one single loser
Well, I know.
there.
This is the spin, though. And, of course, Johnny just sits there and goes, oh, yeah, that must be the case. I just want to point out, so Aaron, obviously he's leading with his strongest material. I can't believe these guys are all looking at photos of me with my shirt off. Yeah, they're embarrassing. It's not because we're gay.
Yeah, we're not jerking off.
Right. Because you look like a dork. And it's hilarious that you would do something like that. It's cringe.
Creepy motherfuckers you've ever seen. They all looked at pictures of me without a shirt on and went, dude, we're winning. How's Aaron going to respond to this like this? Aaron's probably going to.
I mean, and the way that Nick set that up too, he's like, we have this group chat going and the girls are starting to do like sexy poses and showing photos because like, hey, everyone's fucking everyone. That's cool. guys aren't supposed to be like getting in on that action. Like, oh, you think you're sexy? Check out this. You're like, no. What are we doing? No, no one's looking for that.
To make a calendar is what's going to happen. We're going to get the steel toe calendar, and we're going to get all those shirtless pics. So whatever shirtless pics you saw, if you can avoid going blind by looking at them, send them to me. I'd like to make a calendar. So Nick sat next to it.
You're the one who posted them.
Yeah.
Now we got to send you the photos that you posted in your group chat? How lazy are you, sir? Come on.
His cuck fridge and told, "Cocktails, woo." And
I don't understand this. Sit in front of his cuck fridge. Aaron bought the fridge. It was a gift for Kayla. How is this a own on Nick? The fact that they brought this fridge out, because Aaron, that was one of the stories you told about buying that refrigerator because they like charcuterie after sex or whatever the story was. It's like, we wouldn't be talking about a refrigerator. You brought it up, idiots.
That was the actual fridge.
That was the actual fridge. It was shipped from Minnesota.
Okay.
Yeah, no, we didn't buy an airline ticket for it. First class fridge.
He basically used himself to be a court jester. And people were like, how's Aaron going to spin out of this?
He basically used himself.
Huh?
I mean, you can get used. Can't use yourself.
Aaron's not going to spin out of this at all. None of that stuff was new information.
Okay, so that's an interesting cope. None of that stuff was new information. And now he's going to go through and start explaining all the new information. Like, he literally, and I watched Shuli talk about this too, but they were pretty spot on a lot of this stuff. He says both things over and over again. He says that April's a sweetheart and thank goodness she got out of this. And then April's a bitch and she sucks and she's a slut. It's like he just keeps going back and forth. And he really doesn't have an angle. He doesn't know what to do. He's just flailing. He's like one of those fucking guys that get your attention in front of a used car lot.
You guys handed me a win.
I mean, I came clean. I left the whole situation. I
shouldn't have said I came clean.
Yeah.
You cleaned cum. You didn't came clean.
He renounced all of it. I denounced it. I said it was wrong.
I renounced Satan.
If anything, I look at those texts. I'm happy those came out.
Okay, that's my favorite. Yeah. Aaron is happy these texts came out. I mean, he should have put them out there that if he's happy about it.
I wouldn't be happy about that.
He's not. Hey, guess what? He's lying.
Well, I can tell.
Because if there's things that will make me happy that I could do, I'll do them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
the chat brings up a point that surely Nick sent pictures as well, but the whole point of this show was not to show those. It was your show was making fun of Aaron. And if Aaron had already
Aaron
had
wants to
his
show
moment.
photos of Nick on his show, he can do that.
Right.
Are you sure that Nick would post those pictures? Because if I was in that group chat and there was a whole like thruple, quadruple situation, and some dude starts posting pictures, I'm like, no, I'm not sharing pictures of me.
Right.
If he wants to do that, that's fine.
Right.
I think Nick might be like, no, I'm good. Thanks.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's the purpose of that show wasn't for all of the pictures to come out. You guys were making fun of Aaron.
Yeah.
Aaron already had his moment where he said all these things, and
he got all of his chances to humiliate Nick and the rest of the crew, and he took full advantage of it.
Yeah.
I'll never forget April posting something like, "Congratulations, Aaron, you won the divorce," because he made sure to fucking humiliate her and really pushed it in hard. Like, you could tell he was getting his vengeance on her by all the shit he was saying. And he was on a media tour. Let's not forget, I keep saying Kino Casino. He went and did all the shows. Mm-hmm. And he's telling all these crazy tales and embarrassing all these people as much as he could.
Now, I don't know Aaron, but if he hadn't felt like a third wheel, do you think that he would have renounced this situation and, come out clean like he says he did? Because I just don't know.
Well, I don't know either. I mean, it turns out he doesn't like drugs as much as the other people in the group. I think that seems pretty obvious. But he also was doing this for 5 months.
Yeah.
Before he finally left. That's a pretty fucking long time.
Yeah.
To be like, I saw that they're doing Molly and Coke, and I'm like, I'm out of here, guys.
Quite the trial period.
Right. Exactly. Well, if you're in Never Nude and everyone's walking around naked all the time, that's got to be uncomfortable too.
Oh, that was another story. The button story. Wow. Aaron, nothing new came out. Well, what about your tiny penis? Remember that part? Because I saw the text.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm happy they came out, and I'll tell you why.
Please.
Sometimes when you've grown past something, sometimes when you've improved and you've gotten better, you don't want to totally say it to yourself because it sounds like you're bragging or it sounds like you're, it kind of goes against the whole personal growth thing.
Right.
Like in a weird way, the personal growth is kind of ruined when you point out how much personal growth there is.
All right, this is so stupid. Yeah. And this is the spin. This is a crazy spin right here. It goes, all right, so I'm glad this came out because sometimes you don't want to say it to yourself. You don't want to show like how down you were and where you are at now. No, that's exactly what you want to say to yourself. That's the problem with what he just said. Like, don't brag about it on the internet. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
but
just do it.
you should definitely reflect on, oh my gosh, I was down at this point and now I'm here. I can't let that happen again. Yeah. You should self-reflect. That's a big part of personal growth, actually. So the fact that he goes, yeah, I'm glad this came out so that everyone on the internet knows about it because I didn't want to come out and say it. Doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, it's an interesting point that you wouldn't have to broadcast that.
No, you wouldn't.
You just do it. You just make yourself better.
Yeah, he said the line.
This is a just do it kind of
This is
show.
I'm sorry.
We just do it kind of show.
That's right, Dr. Steve. So that one, I don't know if he wrote down notes or if he's just winging it. It seems like he's just winging it because that one is like wild. Oh, okay. So this is a good thing because you now can realize how great you are. And if you had done that without this happening, then that would have made you weird for thinking that. Okay.
And he also says you don't want to say how much personal growth you've made because then it kind of negates the personal growth. Mm-hmm. He's saying it.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. We just said it.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Just do it. You don't have to broadcast it to the universe. Right. Yeah.
Hey, the personal growth is kind of ruined when you point out how much personal growth there is in a strange way. But I read those texts, and there was one about my kids that I saw that I was like, wow, you were in a...
Okay. This is the craziest part right here. But I'm just seeing this for the first time. I'm noticing this for the first time. Johnny's trying to adjust his camera angle. And so he's staring at the software, and he's like zooming in and zooming out and moving himself around. Aaron's like pouring out his soul. Like this is his big moment to try to come back from this pretty heavy weekend that he's experienced. And look at how little Johnny gives a shit.
Yeah. I've got too much headroom.
Yeah, right. This is what he's looking at. What Johnny's looking at here.
Say it to yourself because it sounds like you're bragging, or it sounds like you're. It kind of goes against the whole personal growth thing. Right. Like in a weird way, the personal growth is kind of ruined when you point out how much personal growth there is in a strange way. But I read those texts, and there was one about my kids that I saw that I was like, wow, you were in a fucked up, wrong-headed, shitty place, dude.
So this is interesting. So he goes, I'm glad these texts came out, and it's good they came out because it's taught me how great things are. And, by the way, this one text that came out is horrible, and it's the most horrendous thing that could have possibly have come out.
Yeah.
So wait, you liked that came out, but it's terrible?
And that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. Okay, yeah, sure.
But why should Johnny
was...
give a fuck? The guy treats him like shit, like almost on a daily basis.
It goes back to my theory.
Shut up, Andy. I'm sorry, what was that question?
Johnny hates him. He knows this is the best gig he's got. So it's like, all right, people can check out my dumb show after this. So I'll just sit here and take it. By the way, I think I'm noticing for the first time, does he have Tom Myers hair where he has the green hue because he's got a green screen behind him, but he hasn't clicked on the I have a green screen button?
Well, he's not using StreamYard.
Oh,
but yes, that is possible that he's he could do a better job of hiding that.
The classic narcissist will say, I'm working on my narcissism, and I think I should get more credit for it than I am.
Right.
No, that's precisely right.
I'm not getting enough credit for working on my narcissism.
Yeah, the victim and the hero.
Isn't it amazing how horrible I used to be? Right. It's a weird brag right there. Okay.
I mean, I still am, but I used to be.
I used to do. All right. So this is where he's talking about this this text that he put out that said, paraphrasing, but he's going to paraphrase it in a minute, that, if I lost April, I'd be devastated. But if I lost touch with my kids but still had April, I could deal.
We're in a fucked up, wrong-headed, shitty place, dude. That was shitty.
May I ask what the one about your kid was?
It was. I don't know what the context is, because here's the trick Nick pulled. He never posted what he wrote before.
Context does not matter on
Not
this.
in that case. No.
And I am a big context guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe the context is all about him moving and buying that house, because this is around the time that was happening. And we know that if he had moved away an hour away from his kids, that his ex-wife, Ashley, would have probably gone to the court and said, we got to make some changes to visitation rights.
By the way, that right there is Johnny pushing back, because Aaron wouldn't want to answer the question, well, what did the text say? And so Johnny is raining on his parade, and he's like, okay, well, what was it? And he's like, well, it doesn't matter, because we didn't see what Nick said first, so I'm not going to tell you, Johnny.
You're right. You're right. It is the most basic thing when someone goes, I mean, there was that one text. But anyway, no, okay, but what was that text then? I mean, it's the most basic thing Johnny could have done, but I hear what you're saying.
The context is, because here's the trick Nick pulled. He never posted what he wrote before, and he never posted his reply. It was always one text.
That's actually not true.
Yeah,
no, that's not true.
There were a number of times when he showed the whole text thread, and there were embarrassing things that Nick was writing or April was writing. But he's like, but I want you to see the context of it, because this is what was going on with us.
He was really honest. He put himself way out there.
Yeah. So that's dishonest by Aaron, and he does this all the time.
Some of them had the time and date cut off of them.
What a bitch
I know.
move.
I thought it was a bitch move too, but
it was between December of 2023 and April of 2024. What else do you need to know? Yeah, but was that in February? Like, whatever. Who cares?
I read them, and there was one. I think that one was from December of 2023. So he's going back to 2023.
Right. When this whole thing started. That would be a good place to start, I would think. What is that move? Why does he think that justifies anything? Oh, my ancient history. We're all going all the way back there.
Like, who even remembers 2023, Johnny? Why is he even looking at that?
Yeah, ancient history.
And it said something like, I think I could stand if I lost my kids. Because this was about, I think this was around the time Ashley was going for that HRO, because she knew she suspected April was on something. And I said, something to the effect of, I could handle losing my kids if I had April with me. Like, it was something like it's
that's a red flag.
Christian,
with hands.
You're noticing the cope thing that he does, where he clasps his hands together and he's like, we got this, Aaron, come on, buddy.
By the way, is he allowed to say Ashley's name? I thought maybe that's old shit. I thought he couldn't say her name.
That might have expired. He definitely could not say Kayla's name.
Right, okay.
Because we won't get to it because we're already kind of deep into this already, but Monday night, Keanu called into his show, and she used Kayla's name. He's like, she should know better.
Ixnay on the K.
Flag, my friend.
That's a really shitty thing to say. That's a horrible thing to say. And that if I was still like that, then yeah, hit me in the head with a shovel, man, because that's some terrible shit.
Oh, weird, because like when he was like that, he wasn't broadcasting that information. He wouldn't have admitted to it. But now he's saying he's not like that, but we should just take his word? He's probably not like that now, right? He's probably changed and he's better now?
Clearly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. That's good.
I hope he's learned from this. I hope the kids are okay. Jesus, this is really grim.
Kids spend most of their life with their mother, so they're fine.
But their friends have the internet, though.
Oh,
that's true. That is true.
Wait,
now,
St. Cloud, Minnesota has the internet?
Sure. It seems like they do.
Okay, sorry.
I renounced all that. I denounced all of it. I left. And then it clearly didn't bring Nick any peace, any of this stuff. Because he was up until 3 a.m. last night on Twitter, again, screeching about me, about how I ruined his life and how I did all these things. And
show it. I mean, this would be a perfect opportunity. We saw all of these text messages come out. Like, if Nick is like freaking out, losing his mind about this after the show, like, you should probably pop those up on the screen and show us what you're talking about, because I've looked through all of Nick's tweets in the last week, and I don't see what he's talking about at all. I think he's making this up. And also, I don't think he's a good person to identify what people's emotions are behind text messages and tweets.
No.
He's proven that time and time again.
Mm-hmm.
I wrecked it and I ruined his life. It's like, bro, A, I'm still not going to. B,
He didn't say that he ruined his life. I talked to Nick. I hung out with him quite a bit this past weekend. He's in a pretty good place.
Yeah.
He seemed to be having a lot of fun. And when he got back, he posted like he a blast in Vegas and great time with everyone. I'll come back to Hackamania again next year.
Singing karaoke.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Like, what's he talking about? And then he's back in his hotel room after that and going, fuck, my life is ruined.
I'm a broken man.
Yeah, it's like, he's still with the person you claimed was the love of your life, Aaron. Remember your soulmate, Kayla?
Johnny, let's, for posterity's sake, before he went on stream with coke on his nose, clearly inebriated, and before he got arrested, did I say any of this stuff?
Okay, so can I answer that question?
Yes.
Yeah, please.
Okay. So he's trying to paint this picture like he never said anything, and then this all came out, and it was all Nick's fault that it came out. I mean, there's a number of reasons why that's not true, because Aaron was part of the police investigation and the reason why they had the search warrant. But also, because I remember on my show going, oh, Aaron is saying that he's no longer with April because she's doing coke and so are the Rekietas. Because he would go on and just, it wasn't masked. He'd be like, yeah, I used to hang out with these people who were doing some bad things, and I did bad things too, but I stopped doing those bad things, and they're still doing those bad things. He would just repeat this shit over and over again. I'm like, oh, so they're all cokeheads is what you're saying. And I remember even Chad Zumach's like, Carl, that's reckless that you would say that. I'm like, no, he's saying it. This isn't hard to decipher. I didn't need a magic decoder ring to figure this out. He came right out and fucking said it. So now he's trying to pretend like he never said anything as a bold-faced lie, because I didn't believe any of this when Melton was talking about it, speculating about it before this all came out. And then when Aaron started talking in this code, I was like, oh, okay, well, then this is all true. Turns out Patrick was right about all of it.
Like, before they got arrested and he had coke on his nose, did I say boo?
Yes.
No, actually.
None. Zero.
It was all hush-hush until that shit happened.
And then they got arrested, and you know what I did? I went, this shit's going to come out. All three of them got arrested in the wee hours of the morning in his bedroom. I'm going to get out in front of this. I'm going to lay it.
Wee hours of the morning. It was like 10 a.m. Yeah. Is that the wee hours of the morning? The police showed up after Nick had dropped off one of the kids somewhere. He came back to the house. The police are there. And they're like, yeah, we have a search warrant. But whatever. None of the sex stuff had to come out. So now he's trying to pretend like, well, I was going to come out in court documents anyways. Like, no, that's not the case at all. They were arrested for having firearms that weren't properly locked away, with children in the house, and cocaine. And he went on and talked about the first time that him and Kayla had sex, and Nick having sex with April, and all this shit on Kino Casino.
It bare. And it turned out to be the right move, because now something like this happens, and I look at it and I can go, is that it?
Is that all we have?
That's all you got?
Is that all there is?
Dr. Steve, I know I've been pausing it a lot, so it might seem like a lot of time has passed. He just talked about how horrible that one text was about putting his wife ahead of his children, and how, thank God he's not like that anymore, because that's terrible. And then he's like, and then they show this, and they're like, was that all you got?
All you got. That's nothing.
What, are you trying to embarrass me? Because that's not going to do it. What? That's insane.
There's so many things that by themselves is already enough new information that he can't shrug it off. Like the handwritten letter with the wedding ring, who clearly April gave that ring back to you. And it's like, no, really, you need to have it. And let me tape it to this really pathetic letter that I wrote.
She went and cleared out all of her stuff out of his house while he was at, I forget, Easter or something like that, and left the ring on the dresser like, it's over. Like, that's the final move. Like, I got all my clothes and all my shit. There's your ring. Bye-bye.
Whoa.
She left it.
Like a hotel key card. You just leave
Like my lederhosen. Like my lederhosen. I just left that shit at the plaza. I'm like, never again. I'm out of here.
Yeah, she scanned a QR code to exit the marriage, and then she just had to leave the ring on the dresser. So
right.
Not to sign anything.
That's how that works.
Yeah. And then in Aaron's Take Me Back letter, how he's changed and he's not supporting her enough, and I should have been cutting off some of those rails for you. I wasn't there with my key when he needed a bump. Whatever he wrote, he taped the fucking key to it, or the ring to it.
That's pretty much it. You nailed it. That's what
Thank you.
said.
I mean, it was a few days ago now, but I got the gist of it.
Yeah. And it's crazy to think that the way that letter was written, like if you only listened or you didn't get a good view of the handwriting on the letter, it looked like a fourth grader or like an inmate that's never graduated high school wrote it. It was super embarrassing.
Yeah, he couldn't even write straight. All the sentences like tagged off and
He's
went
got
down
the
the side.
handwriting of a serial killer.
It was like Chad's Mother's Day letter.
When you get mail from Podcast Hitman, is it written just like that? In the same handwriting?
No,
on Slam?
Podcast Hitman has very good handwriting.
Oh,
Actually.
okay, good for him.
Believe
All
it or
right.
not, yes.
So it's not all bad.
He also writes on.
He's taking calligraphy in prison.
Yeah.
Nice touch.
All right. Supertip.gg/WATP is where you want to go to support and participate in the show. We appreciate you very much. Like Coach Lev Kramer saying, haha, was so fun. Nice seeing y'all in person. Lucy equals fire.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for being there. Mark Davis. Making producer Chris laugh and say, well played. Just got another 5 large, Lady K. Laughing with the Dabbleverse/Hackverse every day makes the time fly. Thank you. Well, thanks for being here, Mark Davis. I'm glad you're enjoying your stay with us here at the Dabbleverse.
Cucktails. Came up with that all by myself. Just another undeniable win for the toe.
Another spin for the toe. KJ comes back again. Is Grant going to be at the Boston show? I'm hearing good things about this guy. He's not going to be able to live up to this.
He'll love
that. I think he's going to be there. I would bet he is.
KJ, just imagine if Carl was straight and then you get Grant.
Jesus Christ. On my own show. My own channel, my own network.
By your own friend.
By my own friends. Troy Smith. For the record, you called him Dr. Drew in Detroit, too. Maybe it was Detroit. It probably was Detroit, because I think in Chicago, you were on stage with us. I asked you an Opie question from the crowd.
Right. I walked up to the thing.
You got mad at me.
I didn't get mad. I just didn't know what to say.
You don't get mad.
Stupid.
That's true. I shouldn't have said that. You do not get mad. Amanda Lynn Nappy, been a member for 15 months, says, I bought the live stream. Busy weekend, but what I watched was stellar. Made me wish I was there. Great job, everybody. Good to see you, Dr. Steve.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for getting the live stream, Amanda Lynn Nappy. Laziest man on Mars. Aaron's pudge is the least embarrassing of those picks.
Fair enough.
KFT. Dr. Steve, congrats on Surgeon General nomination.
Could you imagine?
Yeah, I could.
Yes,
imagine.
100%. I can.
I would have
imagine.
so many. How many favors would there be on your phone?
Right.
Within hours. Holy shit! You already get enough.
I'd be calling.
Dame Taff says, this is the best episode ever. I'm going to watch it again and again. Now I feel like Dame Taff's making fun of us.
No, it's because we said what a great person he was.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is true. Dame Taff is awesome. Good hanging out with him.
Yeah, it was really
in
fun
Vegas.
hanging out with him.
Hellraiser69 with $10 super sticker. Thank you, Hellraiser69. Always good to see you. KFT. We need to all go to Johnny's show to piss off Steel Toe. I was like Johnny's live stream, you mean?
Like rate it?
We could do that. That'd be funny. If he made a ton of money on his show.
Oh, if he made $270 in the first 5 minutes,
Get him to the goal in 5 minutes. Yeah,
That'd be
it'd
amazing.
be brilliant.
The artist formerly known as Clyde says, when you refuse to recognize reality, every day is a win. If Aaron self-helps enough personal growth from self-reflecting, he could open a mindfulness studio and fulfill his true calling.
And sell coffee on the street.
It's all it's all just mumbo jumbo. At a certain point, you just like, no, everything's fucking amazing. I'm just killing it over here. I don't know how I'd recover from this weekend personally. Not like that.
Yeah.
Hi, Carl. Your wife has a great rack. Good job.
We know.
I didn't create it.
It's all Carl's fault.
Pool scam Sam. Remember when Aaron said he didn't need his kids and only wanted April? Pepperidge Farm remembers. Ladies Man on Mars. Christian killed me with, is that all there is?
That wasn't Christian.
That was Dr. Steve.
A principled uncertainty is saying something that's apropos to this. He said, my son is more brilliant person I'll ever be, but I repeatedly tell him, never send a picture or write a letter. He's absolutely right.
He is. Assume it will be laughed at by a bunch of jerks in Vegas. Right. James P. Aaron's fans versus our fans. We don't chant. All right. I agree. Very well behaved audience at Hackamania.
Except for that one broad in the front. But yeah.
Okay. There were a couple now that I think about it. Laziest Man on Mars. Need Dr. Steve on more Dabbleverse shows. I agree.
Yeah.
Now that you've retired from Weird Medicine, I'm going to start bugging you more.
Okay.
to do shows.
Yeah,
All apologies, podcast.
I'll bring your show down like every other show.
Actually, Dr. Steve, Lucy lost a question that I had for you on that show, so I will have to have you on Who Are These Broadcasters, because my buddy Eric Zane has a real legitimate problem that hopefully you can talk him through it.
Okay, he also has my number. He can.
No. I want it on the show for content. He doesn't know I'm talking.
We're going to talk about his soft penis behind the scenes. We want to talk about it on the show. Come on.
It hasn't worked in a really long time. Like nothing.
It's all mush. It's just mush down there, Dr. Steve.
I can absolutely
Nothing burger.
Does Opie ever text you about his mush problem?
I can't say.
Perfect answer. I was hoping you'd say that. Brock.
Legally, I'm not allowed to say.
Right.
Brock $5 says, glad you made it, Dr. Steve. Shows what diligence and how important comedy has been in your life. Thanks for all you do. You're the best. I agree with
Brock.
that.
Oh, comedy saved my life.
I didn't think there was a shot in hell we were going to get Dr. Steve at Hackamania based on the circumstances. But Steve figured out a way.
Well, I
Patrick figured
didn't.
out a way.
Melton did. Melton rearranged the whole schedule just for that. And I will never forget that. And I really appreciated him doing that because I was so fucking bummed. I mean, I was really proud of my kid, but the whole reason I was coming was because he said he wasn't going to walk. And then he gets the letter from the dean. He got excited. And I was really proud to be there.
Yep.
And I wasn't going to miss it for anything. But then Melton called me and said, I think I've got this worked out. And it worked out perfectly. So. Yeah, I really appreciate him.
We've been ball licking quite a bit on Patrick Melton, but not enough can be said about the amount of work that he puts into these shows and what a great job he does and just being very easy to work with and pleasant. I'm glad that when he called me about the first Hackamania, I was like, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, I'm glad you did too.
That's worked out very well. Saying yes has worked out very well in my life. Here is an interesting post that Nick Rekieta put up on Twitter, aka X. So this is one I don't think we saw at the show, but this is Aaron saying, I just hate my wife cleaning up my closet, sleeping with other people while walking out on me, and kind of breaking the rules of this whole thing. You know, the classics. So he responds, shit, I didn't know any rules were broken. I'm not here to argue, just listen. So this is after April, like I said, left the ring and grabbed all her stuff and left. So he writes back, I hold zero animosity toward you. By the way, you've been super cool, which is weird. Well, she left me and there she is still.
Do you want to talk to her? She's right here at my house.
Right. And he wrote, hey, at Aaron Imholte, keep saying you left her. It's a good look. So I guess this is the seething that he's talking about. And also, you know, trying to say that he's on shit. This is interesting too, because this is another thing that Aaron posted over the weekend while this was all going down and people were talking about it. Aaron wrote, Todd Peterson has entered the chat. Now, Todd Peterson is his attorney. Is the attorney that represented him for his criminal charges.
Okay.
And so Patrick Melton quoted, retweeted that, says, why? Does he have some gay pics to share too? But what's great is, as Patrick goes, imagine going, they have nothing. And then immediately I've contacted my lawyer. Brilliant point by Patrick on there. It's like, you can't have it both ways. This was nothing. Nothing new came out. I'm glad these texts came out. And then also being like, I got my attorney involved. Okay.
Because I don't care.
Right. That's what people say when they don't give a shit. Can we get back to this cope? It's fascinating.
That's your big. I thought of that scene from Rounders where Worm goes, what is that supposed to be, like your big finish? Like, is that it? So then he's like, you know how he's been screaming for months now, Aaron ate my goo. And they said,
we're getting into the interesting part of it. This is a perfect time for our buddy Adam Bush to join the show. What's up, Adam?
Saw you guys starting to wind down, and I figured it was a perfect time to hop right on.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here, buddy. Great time in Vegas. You know, when we started the show off, I kind of went around and asked everyone what their highlights were and maybe some key takeaways and things behind the scenes or part of the shows, anything you want to share.
You know, I got to spend most of Friday with
Grant.
member.
Oh.
I spent most of the weekend with Grant. He was in my room when I got there, which was. I got to tell you, if you want to learn about Carl, it does no good talking to Carl. Talk to Grant. Right. Grant will give you everything you need to know about Carl. Not by talking about Carl, just by talking about himself. As someone who also has an older brother, I relate a lot to your relationship. But I got to spend all day Friday with a backyard boy, and we hung out, we talked, we walked to get White Castle, we paid for each other's White Castle. It could only take a certain card. We were having the greatest time ever. I'm not going to say we fell in love, but it was like, I don't even know his name because he wouldn't tell me, right? And
when you say a backyard boy, like a guy who appears on the show or like a fan?
He was on the show with me with Quad. Okay. He was one of those gentlemen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who called me many, the worst names you can think of and said the worst things possible and accused me of harboring the worst crimes in the world. So we had a sack of 10 together and seemingly didn't solve everything, but it shows you what's possible if you have an open mind.
Yep. Well, it's funny you say that because I was talking a couple hours ago at this point about how much time I spent with Beer Sales Jerry or Vegas Beer Sales Jerry.
Me too.
At the show. And yeah, we both were talking to him quite a bit. And he came to all the shows and everything. And he's friends with John. And we talked about their relationship and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, there's an element of the Dabbleverse that's lost on a lot of these characters, like the Chad Zumachs and the Kevin Brennans and Stuttering John even, that matter. Where it's like we can have disagreements on the air. We can feel very differently about certain things. But at the same time, we're all kind of into the same shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're all fascinated by this thing, and it kind of connects us and draws us all together.
I sense that with that gentleman and with Vegas. And I have it myself. We have some sort of agenda. We just don't know what it is. And at some point while we're getting along, it's like, aren't we supposed to be fighting? Oh, yeah, we're supposed to be fighting. And then Vegas will start defending John randomly and then just move on. And I'll do the same. Like, aren't I supposed to hate you? I forgot because this White Castle's so good and it's so late and we're so drunk. And everyone can agree they love Dr. Steve. So there is that one thing that brings us all together.
Yes.
That is true.
Thank you. I'm sure that's not true. Chad.
You never take a compliment.
Thank you, though. Thank you. I loved meeting That was a highlight of my weekend, for real. And but it sounded like Chad had a good time with this. He was kind of the center of a lot of these things, right? I mean, he showed up on more than one show doing a video. I wasn't there for that, but I heard about it.
Wait,
I know what it's like when
Chad made a video for one of the shows?
Yeah, he made one for
right.
for Tukey.
Right. That's right. Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, it went over very well.
I'm sure you're a bunch of dorks and all that stuff, but I heard it was funny.
Yeah. When you open reviews or you like go to the internet and you see a video about yourself and you didn't expect it and everyone you know is telling you that you're being made fun of, you're the butt of the joke, you got to do something, it's hard to process. And no one ever gives them an out. So before we released that video at Hackamania, I sent some of it to him. And I said, here you go. I think it came out great. What do you think? I'm going to use this in friendship. And he sent back the same sentiment. So I gave him an option going, instead of that, you could just do this. And he went, that seems more productive, and went with it. And I'm proud of him for that and think more people should. And I'm working on doing the same.
Wow. Yeah. Why are we having breakthroughs over here?
I took the fun right out of the show. You see how I just took all the humor and just
I thought we'd be like laughing at jerks some more, but apparently that's
personal growth.
You're right.
There's some profundity in all of this. That's the crazy thing about
it. There's a reason why this is a very compelling corner of the internet and different than the guys who are just making fun of King Cobra JFS for the 50 millionth time or whatever.
But he is
more
great.
to it.
Let's
No.
not.
I
as
love
fun
it.
as that is.
Yeah, WATS Thursday nights.
No, of the two gotcha videos, because Aaron did the one with Vito, which, by the way, at some point in the clips that you're watching, Aaron says, and they didn't even use it because he didn't think to check Vito's show since Vito's the one who asked it. Right. And Chad did one too that we were talking about. Chad's was much better than Aaron's. Chad, you're like, I mean, I don't really know if I like the guy, but at least he's able to have a little bit of fun. Aaron was all like, fuck all y'all, look at me. And it was
right.
It was
the thing about Chad is if he would just come out and admit that he does want to be friends and he does want to be part of this world and he is upset that he's not, I think that people, like you just said, Adam, like it's that quick. You just be like, you would embrace him and be like, all right, Chad, well, come on over. We're hanging out. Like we've seen that with Shuli's network. We've seen Chad clown Stuttering John without John knowing it. And then it's like, hey, let's talk about this. And I went on and Anthony Cumia went on and we were all playing the videos and Chad was smiling ear to ear. Like, hey, I'm part of the crew here. And as much as he says, I don't want to be part of a pylon, I don't want to be part of this group, he wants to be all of those things. He wants that more than anything. Principal Uncertainty says, sorry, I'm unable to express why we love Dr. Steve. All right, well, at least you tried.
No reason, no good reason.
At least you tried, though. I do want to get to that part of the video because he says something that's pretty interesting as far as the video he made for Vito. And by the way, I have that video too. I have it queued up. And I asked for it from Vito, and he sent me, the link that Aaron sent him. So when I clicked on it, it said you don't have permission to watch this video. So I put in a request from Who Are These Podcasts. I don't know if Aaron's going to respond to that or not. But Vito also sent me the video, so I do have that if we want to watch it at all.
We're gonna have proof. And I'm like, this is interesting because that never happened. Let's see what proof you manufacture. And I said, I bet you he manufactures some nonsense. And guess what?
It was nonsense all day.
He got April. He even told the story. They were talking on the phone and they were like sexting each other. And when they sexted each other, Nick needed to hear about me. I mean, this is all from his mouth. This is all his words. He needed to hear. And by the way,
it was just the opposite.
I was going to say, that's not how I remember it at all.
It was exactly the opposite of that. Nick said Aaron, to a point, could not get off or get interested or finish with April until April started talking about sex with Nick. And now Aaron's just completely flipped that. And of course, Johnny has no idea. He's like, whoa, I can't believe they would say that. Yeah, because they didn't. That'd be really weird.
I mean, this is all from his mouth. This is all his words. He needed to hear. And by the way, this conversation took place in November, 7 months after I'd left.
Not only does that conversation not need to happen, you don't need to tell people about it.
Right.
Like, you can let that one just fade into ether and the universe.
Or Johnny, you can actually do a little research to figure out what the fuck you're talking about so that you don't just take Aaron's word, who's always lying to you and spinning things.
This pass. If you're still in the swinging life and hearing how much of a whore she is, turns you on, okay, all right, that can be part of the kink and the whatever. I tried it. I didn't like it. Blech. And
he tried it for 5.5 months and then decided this isn't for me since she's way more into this other guy, wants to live with him now.
I had them arrested.
But again, this is him acting like he was the one who said, nope, I'm out of here, guys.
Right, yeah.
When we just saw the messages that he sent about how heartbroken he was that April left him.
That's fine. But he did it. He had April come up with this fantasy dime store romance novel story and then said, hey, can you put that in a text? He was setting it up so he could send it so he could frame this big story. Imagine what a sociopath you have to be.
So almost all of these text messages he's admitted are real. All this little, they're sharing photos. We saw those. We saw all these other texts and things go through. But the one that's made up, that's fake, is the cum eating one. Interesting to know.
The best part is that I don't have to imagine it. There's a lot of evidence that
right.
points directly to the fact that you're wrong.
I mean, when people were like, Aaron, how are you going to respond to this one? I'm like, I'm going to do what the rest of the internet is doing right now. I'm going to point out that a bunch of creeps watched a cuck and look at shirtless pictures of me and talk about their cuck days, and we're all going to laugh at you.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
Yeah. He's crushing us. Wow. Yeah. Look at us all run with our tails between our legs. Every single show is reviewing this segment of his show and pointing out every inconsistency and lie that Aaron is telling.
Aaron shouldn't be embarrassed by what we saw. We should all be embarrassed by watching it, Carl.
Right.
Yeah, take it to fucking No Jumper, all right? That shit flies over there, not here.
Yeah, dude, speaking of people laughing, Kino Casino put up a thing on him recently about him losing his buddy that he was streaming with. And when I was looking over that clip, I was like, wait a minute, you do realize, buddy, because he's doing a court case and he keeps bringing it back to swinging. He's like, I think this is a swinging thing.
He misses it.
Right. I'm like, you realize for the rest of us outside looking in, that's like a giant, like, no, that's you projecting, sir.
Yeah.
You're seeing this because, yeah.
I will say this, for the nobody likes onions people, like the people who live and die by me, I would enjoy it if I were them. Like, it's embarrassing text messages about me, but
What the fuck just happened?
Hold on a minute.
Whoa. After all of that, all of this for an ounce of blood, and he's going on and on about how it's nothing and who cares, everyone knew everything. And he goes, I mean, all the people who were there, I bet they really enjoyed it. It's probably exactly what they wanted to see and hear. What?
They probably had a great time. Yes, we did.
How does he have both thoughts at the same time?
This is the mind of a cuck. This is a cuck. He's like, if I was into that, I would like that. I also like it from here when they're making fun of me. I don't know a lot about cuckery, but it's got to be somehow involved.
I think his right brain and his left brain are separated, and they're both speaking at different times.
Yeah, he's literally saying both things nonstop throughout this video. And that's why when I tweeted out, how is he going to spin this? I literally didn't know. I didn't know if someone could do something like this. Just say both things.
Let's literally spin.
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally spinning.
That sucked. I'm glad it came out. And also, that was embarrassing. And that's why people who make fun of me enjoyed it. Okay. Cool.
Genius.
People don't know how to feel, so
Horribly
they just take the advice from the loudest voice in their head, and they follow that.
Right.
For Nick, because only one of us left and renounced it, and let's stop pretending that that's not the reason why he's upset.
Well, that's the other weird thing, too, is like, Aaron X, like,
a little madness somewhere? All right, I love it.
Wow, we named that in 3 notes.
That's right.
It's impressive.
I'd like to double my money with only 1 note.
Let's not pretend that the reason why this all ended is because April left Aaron to go with Nick.
All right.
Because Aaron was on his show going, April's going to come back. She's going to be on the show. She just needs a little time off from the show. She's upstairs making candied bacon. He wrote that letter trying to get her back. And now he's pretending that Nick's the loser in all of this. Nick done stole his girl. There's no other way to spin it or anything like that. But this is what he's trying to pretend now.
It's not even stealing. She gave herself to him.
Yeah. Just took her.
Like, I'll just take her.
Yep.
Sure.
And now he's going like, and it's embarrassing for Nick because look at where he's at now. I mean, they should have flushed the Coke. I've said this to Nick. I'll say it over and over again. Cops are at the door. I realize you just scored. There's 27 grams. Like, Jesus Christ. But we've all seen Goodfellas. You got to flush it. I'm sorry.
You really do.
The husband's going to be mad.
Yeah. There's going to be some yelling.
There's going to be some yelling, but you got to flush the Coke.
That's all we had.
To the point about April, yeah, he didn't steal her. It's basically like at 7-Eleven when they have the little dish that says take a penny, leave a penny. The penny was there. And Nick was like, hey, all right, I mean, I guess I could use 2 pennies, right?
Are you saying that her value is just 1 cent, Christian?
All right, so he took 4 pennies. All right.
All right.
Yeah,
He still would if I asked him to tomorrow.
no, he wouldn't.
That's the big difference. So
He'd take you back.
Oh, in a fucking heartbeat. If I said, hey, man, bygones be bygones. Let's run it back. I'm sorry. He's like, oh, I've been waiting for this day for so long. I just wanted it all to be over with.
Look at this fantasy. Now, if anyone wants to psychoanalyze something, here's the portion of the video to do that. Now he's having this fantasy that, like, Nick is just hurt that we're not friends anymore. And if I reached out to him and had an olive branch, he would be over the moon about being my friend again.
I don't know Nick, but that doesn't sound anything like him.
No, he's acting it out, and he's like telling you how amazing Nick would feel about this.
Huh.
Carl, I got to go. That was an emergency phone call, but this is more important.
Dr. Steve, thanks so much for being here, buddy.
Yeah. It was an emergency phone call, but he's dead on the table now, so I got a few more minutes.
It's an emergency phone call from 2 floors down, so it's okay.
Okay.
But she can wait. But anyway, love you guys. Thank you again for the opportunity. Thank you, Mr. Melton. And hope to see you guys soon. It was so much fun.
See you soon.
So much fun hanging out with you. Adam, I loved meeting you. And Christian,
the best.
we shook hands and I never saw you again. But
That's all right. That's
I hope
the way
we can
I
hang
like
out
it.
sometime.
Absolutely.
Well, that's the way you like it. Okay.
At DabbleCon 3, where Eric Zane and I will be doing Who Are These Broadcasters out on Fremont Street.
Okay, awesome. Well, I got to hang out with Grant instead. So
that's way better than hanging out with me.
See you.
See you, Steve.
Okay, bye.
Love you, miss you.
Love you.
So Aaron did call the cops in this situation, right? I'm making sure that I remember that correctly, or at least he gave them information.
He gave them information.
Yeah, and he's acting like if I called Nick tomorrow and said we should be friends, he'd be okay with it. I mean, I think, no, you got me in way more trouble. I was in trouble, but you got me in more trouble. So, no, fuck you.
Right.
Because he was still crashing out yesterday at about 3 a.m.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah. I think he's on the duster. And, I knew this would happen.
See, this is the thing, too. Like, Aaron could just make up shit. Just be like, oh, yeah, he's probably just doing blow while he's in Vegas. I didn't spend every second with Nick while I was there, but I could tell you he was not drinking or doing drugs.
Happened too. I said this about the event. I said it's not going to make Nick happy. He's going to continue to crash out. It's going to be a fleeting moment of him being like, I get to talk about Aaron again. And then as soon as the plane landed, he was off thumb thugging again. Just and again,
I know he really does paint a picture. It's like, yeah, he tweets every day. He tweeted a few more times before he left and when he got back. A lot of it was about like legal cases and things that are going on in his world because he's doing his YouTube show again. But Aaron this is just the spin that he has to do.
I know I was supposed to come on here today and it was supposed to be sad and whatever and blah, blah, blah.
And defeated?
It's nothing you haven't seen before.
Johnny's like, you don't have to be sad, but you can at least admit like you got, right?
You guys saw me without my shirt on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the worst part, Johnny. Well, let's hear the takeaways from Johnny after all this. Yeah, the shirt. Is this where he says topless over and over again?
Oh,
This is infuriating right here.
I mean, it's not like I've ever wrestled in something that vaguely looked like a skirt.
Right.
So.
It's not like I haven't wrestled topless. It's not like I haven't boxed topless. It's not like I haven't been topless on this show.
Ugh.
It's not like I haven't posted topless pictures of myself on the.
You're not topless, Aaron. You're a boy.
He does have tits.
Seriously, what's he talking about? TOPLESS, topless
program. So we're the topless. I don't know. I'll still take my body over Patrick and Nick's any day.
Right. I was about to say, like,
that's not what we're talking about. We're not bragging about our bods here.
You're right. He is flailing.
He has no idea which way to go with that.
Oh, I opened all the buttons on my polo shirt. You can really see my décollage. Fucking weirdo.
I know.
Yeah.
Is it just that the information that we learned this weekend that's changing the way I view him, or has it always been like this? Because it was the same thing with Kevin Spacey. Like, Kevin Spacey used to watch him perform, and it was like, wow, he's like steely cool. It was like,
yeah.
Oh, hello, what are you doing? Okay. And then you heard all this info about him, and you watch the same stuff, and what was like steely cool seems just kind of like a little lad who likes berries and cream. Like, suddenly it just seems very like, oh, really? Okay, like a prissy kind of. And I'm watching him with his, all of this stuff and topless, and it just seems very, very different. The way he processes sexuality, his fascination with men's bodies and how much they love him, like, this is very, very revealing. And I think he's going to be coming out pretty soon because it's the only way left to win.
I think you're right about that. And it also speaks to the fact that Patrick had such a upper hand on all of this. And like, I didn't see it and a lot of people didn't see it. And, I still get called out to this day for being friendly with Aaron and not going after him. But it's the same thing. Like, my perception's completely changed. And the way I view him, he's changed as a broadcaster as well. But the way I view him is so different now that I know all this stuff.
Yeah.
And look, I don't put a lot of time thinking about what I'm going to wear when I live stream. But on this show where a lot of people are going to be tuning in, maybe don't wear the cartoon Minnesota Golden Gophers weird jersey. I don't even know what that material is. It's just very hard to take him seriously with that that goofy Fritz the Cat looking gopher right there.
That's what Slam Piece had laid out on the bed.
Oh, okay.
What's he supposed to do?
For like Patrick and them, if you want to criticize that guy without his shirt on, like, let's see a picture. Well, first of all, I'm not being serious. But let's see you put up a picture of your shirt off.
And
How
Carl,
many cameras did you break making that happen?
And Carl Heberger, I think the biggest weight he's ever lifted is his mouse. So I
use a track.
Boom! Roasted.
Nope.
Show's over, everybody.
I use a trackpad so you can't hear the clicking. So I got him
you're
there.
defeated. You were just defeated. So walk away.
I can't believe he said that. He thought that was going to be a big.
He thought of it. He waited for the other person to start speaking. He had his hand on the prop, and then he delivered. It was
He really
amazing.
delivered on that one. Good
That was
stuff.
another win for the toe.
Hackamania thing ended up being a bust.
After all of that, I can understand why their fans would like it and probably think that was pretty good. So that was a bust.
People who are big nobody likes onions people, they were like, no, I love it. And they should. I mean, their whole life is me. Their whole thing is me. I get that. That's totally fine. I don't
They
begrudge.
don't know what an L that is.
Yeah, I don't begrudge them one bit. They're Voldemort. They got to see me half naked. I'm sure that was a dream come true for them. I'm sure they love that. And they got to hear Nick embarrass himself further on the things I've already come out and said and renounced. And
I mean, it's just not true. He said it at the beginning, and he said it again here. That like, oh, everyone already knew all this stuff, and it's more embarrassing for Nick. Just
because he renounced it.
Right.
It's not worth the paper it's written on.
Right. And it's also not true.
The only
We've learned a
bust
lot
was
of new
in-
things.
The only bust was in April's belly button, and you drank it.
I will say in the room, so I was by the soundboard in the back, the gasps, everybody, I was like, like hands over mouths, just like, it was shocking.
You could hear a pin drop at certain points.
You really could.
People were so interested in what was going on.
It was pretty disturbing.
And I've heard Aaron shows, and no one's even paying attention to what's going on the stage. They're all just drunk and rowdy and yelling. They have no idea.
That's another way to do
then
it.
Nick got to show everyone his dime store romance novel that he created in his head.
Okay, repeat that again. That'll make it real.
I mean, I haven't come out with the text that prove that Nick slept face first in my jizz for 4 or 5 months.
Whoa. Okay, so this is
Sick burn.
The definition of coping.
Yes.
Okay, so I licked his jizz, but he slept face down in my jizz for 5 months. What? Now, I know what the configuration was in here. Nick slept between both women. And this retard was on the very edge next to Kayla.
At their feet going.
Or maybe that, yes. So it doesn't even make sense what he's explaining here because we already know what the configuration was of these four in the bed. But look at how happy he is right now. That now he's spinning it to, actually, he was the one who was shoving my cum in his face. And I had the text message to prove it, but he doesn't, and that's a lie. And so he has to pretend like, but I'm the bigger person.
Well, by the sounds of it, everybody's cum was in everybody's face.
Well,
so it doesn't really fucking matter. Who cares?
It's true.
I don't know. See, that's what I didn't want to do today. I didn't want to go back and do that stuff. I don't want to.
He's like Rip Taylor.
You need some confetti or something.
That's great.
Holy shit. But yeah, this right here now is where he's acting like he's the bigger person. And he's like, guys, we don't need to give the evidence that actually he was the one sucking off my penis. Because it doesn't exist and you're lying and coping.
Want to be tit for tat, and it's all gross and it's all disgusting and it's pukey. So, congratulations to Patrick Melton. I noticed nobody showed the thing that Vito and I secretly worked on together.
What's that?
Vito and I secretly worked on a thing where I roasted Patrick and Nick to their faces at Hackamania. I made a video. Vito and I put it together. He played it. He DM'd me that night. He goes, it went over great. The pop was huge when you came up on screen. It was awesome. No video of it. I'm wondering if the minute I came up on screen, Patrick didn't pause the stream.
Okay, so I wanted to get to that point in this video because it's so important to remember that this is how Aaron spins things and makes things up and speculates. So that video was played during the biggest problem in the universe. It's up on YouTube now. It was in the room. Everyone saw it. Patrick wasn't back there pausing streams. Oh no, is Aaron going to get a W? I got to pause the stream. So Aaron just like makes this shit up out of nowhere. Of course it didn't play on This Little Piggy. Vito has nothing to do with This Little Piggy. Thank fucking God. What a pain in the ass Vito is. Jesus. So annoying. But that's just a perfect example of when Aaron says stuff, he's just making it up. And then he convinces himself over time. And then like it starts with speculation. We all do this. I was thinking about this today, actually. We all sit here and we speculate on these shows. Point, dabble, point, This Little Piggy, WTP. We watch a clip. We listen to someone say something like, oh, I wonder if actually this is what's going on. Based on this or this and this, we have rationale. But then we don't like repeat that a month later as if we determine that's fact. And then go, well, we all know that blah, 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 blah. So now, and you just keep adding to that thing that you made up in the first place.
Yeah.
Just build more lies on top of that lie. And then so it's like, well, how do you know that thing? I proved that a month ago. Yeah. No. You made something up out of nowhere that was wrong.
Nah, it's old news.
You're right. That's one of the tactics that these people use. Just like, no. We've already, that's proven science at this point. We don't have to revisit.
It's like how John saw the Photoshops of you putting the PDF of his audiobook on your Patreon. He saw it and he knows it. He proved it months ago, probably years
Vegas
ago.
beer sale. Jerry knows about it. Oh, I should have asked him about that.
You brought up another great point, Carl, which is that we all speculate. And you watch Aaron, you can watch 6 hours straight. He does not ask a question. He knows everything, even when like the intense details of like a kink lifestyle that he has not lived his whole life, that he's new to, he has no questions about. He
Isn't that
is
amazing?
Master of it already. After This Little Piggy, I remember cornering Kaylee and being like, okay, there's bi, there's gay, there's cuck, like there's all of these things. What are you thinking about all this? And we're trying to answer these questions because we don't know, but he's got it all figured out and he's going to teach us.
I remember the one time he wasn't sure about something. He came on his show and he goes, this is after April left. He goes, maybe I'm a narcissist. And maybe me putting my wife on the show was because I'm a narcissist and I felt the need to control that and make her do this thing. And he came back the next day and went, turns out I'm not a narcissist. And that was the one time he was like questioning himself and like wondering if he's doing something wrong. And then the next day he's like, I saw the therapist. Turns out I'm fine. No narcissism here.
That was curious.
I'll never learn.
Seemingly found a co-host that doesn't have internet and can't fucking watch the event and know that he's making everything up.
This is what I mean, Andy. This guy does shows with him every week. Wouldn't you be curious enough to be like, oh, what do they say about you on this other show that people flew to Vegas for? And, that you have to respond to first thing Monday morning. This guy has no curiosity at all, Johnny. Can't even pay attention. All right. We do have to get out of here because I have to go to band practice in a little bit. But I want to thank people who are supporting us on supertip.gg/WATP, including the coach. It's not Kramer, it's Kramer. All right. Don't make me go one Kramer, two Kramer on you. Am I even saying that right now?
Kramer. That's what Nick did to April.
All right. Very good. I'll mispronounce everyone's name if you give me more super tips to correct me. Here's
just to clarify, Melton hacked into the university system computer and changed my son's name to Aaron Aardvark, so he was the first to walk. I then hopped on Melton's jet and flew straight to Fremont Saint.
Fremont Saint.
He actually landed a helicopter on the roof of the plaza in order to get Dr. Steve there.
Did you guys point out that almost every single attendee would at some point go up to Dr. Steve and ask him for very real, specific medical advice, and that he would then give it? And this goes on to the point where they're just like talking to strangers in the casino, and if they have a medical problem, they will bring them to Steve and say, this guy's a doctor, tell him. And Steve will be drinking and hanging out and turn and just offer up very legitimate medical advice to complete strangers because he's such a nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's all he does all day, every day.
Yep.
It's crazy.
And I called him out one time because I said, do you even have like friends and family in your phone, or are all text messages from famous comedians asking you for advice? And he sent me a screen grab of what his text screen was, and it was half and half.
Oh my god!
So I felt better about that. I'm like, that's Bob Kelly, that's Rich Voss. Oh, that's your sister. Okay, good.
And he's not just flexing; he's genuinely concerned. That's what's great about him.
Correct. Yeah. What a fucking saint that asshole is.
There was an unlisted number that said, "Why are my lips purple?" Sorry.
I'm sorry. What was that?
Well, I said there was an unlisted number that said, "Hey, Steve, why are my lips purple?" You don't actually know who that was.
He did answer that question on Weird Medicine, by the way.
Oh, what did he say? Can you, real quick? What was the reason for the purple lips?
He said lighting.
He said it was the ring light.
He said the ring light. He said I've told Opie, I've bought him the lights. He uses them at Gebhardt's. He won't use them at home.
Yeah.
You got to have 3-point lighting. It's got to be coming from this place, that place, and this place.
Yeah.
Yep.
He sent him a lighting diagram too.
Yes.
It's a condition called sucking at your job.
That makes sense.
Oh, I have a case of don't give a fuck. It's making my mouth purple. All right. Go ahead, Coach Scott. I'm sorry I paused you.
Carl or I didn't get to say hello, but thank you for showing off the George Santos podcast. That man's podcast and his egg-shaped body is getting put into my regular rotation. What a weirdo.
Purple Possum, bad news. He's going to prison for the next 7 years. But yes, Trucker Andy and Lucy Tightbox did a great presentation of Matan Evan versus George Santos.
By the way, Matan had Matt Gaetz on, I think, yesterday.
Yes,
and
I
didn't
saw the
get a chance.
thumbnail.
I didn't get a chance to pull any clips from it myself, but I'm looking.
Why do these
forward
people
to it.
do this? Why do they put themselves in this position?
I'm not sure.
You asked how politicians could end up on the Stuttering John podcast.
Okay.
It's true. This is how they don't know what the joke is, and they're so desperate for entertainers and entertainment, they'll just go on anywhere.
It's amazing.
The heaviest thing Carl lifts is his mouse. Boom.
Gotcha.
And tot.
Actually, it's my wife's tits.
Hey, there you go.
Hey.
Lift those up from time to time. John's ear mites. Congrats to you all on a great weekend. Someone suggested I become Aaron's ear mites. Gross.
Oh, no.
God.
That's too gross. Laser Man on Mars. Always blown away by Adam's emotional IQ. Nickelodeon star. Which Pete were you?
I was Danny Timberelli.
Brock gifted a membership. Thank you very much for doing that, Brock. A member on this YouTube channel. You get 2 bonus episodes every single month. We did 3 last month. You can find them all underneath the membership tab. And you can watch the shows on Saturdays live when we record them. Sale Weinstein, $2 says, who's this hack Aaron? I'm here for Opie bashing. I know. It's a special episode we're doing today. OpieCon next week. Then we'll talk all about Opie. Ladies and Men on Mars, SJ lies like a 5th grader. Aaron lies like a drug addict. Oh, that's a great observation, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, that's worth the $2 right there. Love tits. Steel toe is, what does that say?
Schrodinger's cuck. So that's there's a box, and is the cat alive inside of it, or is the cat dead inside of it? And until you open the box, it's both, because you don't know for sure.
And then Aaron fucked the cat.
Dang Lizard. Hackamania just fulfilled Aaron's humiliation fantasies, but he can't sell it to his audience, so he spins the story into another win for the toe.
He's right.
Yeah.
That's what you were
Something
saying,
like that.
Adam. He's actually into that sort of thing. That's why he came on Monday morning like, this is great. What do you mean? What are we talking about? CMOS 4044 with €5 says, Nick does air duster / whippets. He was clearly under the influence of it on stream recently and on the call to This Little Piggy a while back. Legal but stupid. You could be right about that. The thing about whippets is that they last for like 10 seconds.
Yeah. I believe that's what it says on Nick's business card. Legal but stupid.
Blart Sampson. Aaron is a closeted bi man who mostly dislikes women. Aaron is Steven Crowder without the success.
Wow. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's exactly who he is.
It's not terrible. Laziest Man says, JC lying about handicap like Carl lies about clubfoot. What's going on? What just happened?
JC?
I don't know. Jesus Christ. Aaron Jazz Hands Imholte. Jizz Tongue too. Aaron Jizz Tongue Imholte. Spazdork Imholte has 129 watching. Another win for the slow. Another win for the slow. Oh boy, guys, this went longer than I expected it to, but this has been so much fun. I do have to get to rehearsal.
Carl, I have a prop that I picked up earlier today specifically
yes.
for this show. This is a limited edition Pringles. It is beer can chicken Pringles. You got to get it quickly though, because it's already reduced down to $1.35.
Oh
so,
my!
I'll enjoy this on a future stream. I want everybody.
It's vegetarian though, right?
Yeah.
His daughter will like it.
Yeah.
It's all good. All right.
Vegan.
Well, Christian Blatt, thank you so much for being here, for being in Vegas with us.
Great time. I was glad.
Adam Bush, thank you so much for being here, for coming to Vegas. I hope you had a good time. We had a blast. Trucker Andy, thank you for being here. Great time in Vegas with you. Producer Chris, Jenny Jingles.
Of course. My pleasure.
You kids, I am telling you, what a fun, stupid life that we all live, huh?
Yeah.
It really is.
Why does this even
Wouldn't
exist?
change a thing.
All right. Sorry, Patrick, I'm stealing this.
There's a show in town, it's going down. Every week we're back on solid ground. Steel toe slipping, but we're gripping. Got the tea to spill, it's always flipping. From April's scrim to Aaron's glee. Oh, this drama's just a spree. Polydrama, legal trauma, another win. Oh, that's the karma. This little piggy went to YouTube. This little piggy's on Rumble now. This little piggy's begging for dollars, and this little piggy's breaking down. Wow! Every week for a cabbage flow. Tune in for This Little Piggy Show. From revenge porn to felony, it's a circus, can't you see? The toe is bent, the goal is spent. His empire crumbles, all hell sent. April's playlist on repeat. Aaron's lies we can't defeat. The countdown's on, it won't take long.